Okay. Hey, everybody. So I'm going live. Ben and Ashley went live. That was funny. Ashley did a great interview with the Masked Lady for Xavier Marks. I thought that was really cool. I did wake up and join in the middle of it. I've been catching up on sleep because I've been having a lot of fun not being a hermit anymore. I have a bunch of interviews this week, so yay. But I just wanted to take a moment to just like go live and catch up on Fen theories, Fen talk. Haven't done that on my own channel in a while. I've been helping other channels, and I'm kind of over that. So I wanted to talk a little bit more about our assumptions in regards to second poem. Now, the funny thing is, this isn't the first time this has been talked about. Gigi and I have talked about this, like, I want to say last year and even longer before that. I even did an entire video comparing Eric Sloane's A Reverence for Wood book in relation to what I believe is the second poem, which can be found in the Medium article. And I could say this because I've been saying it for a while. I don't care if other people are posting about it. Shy Guy, I saw that, whatever. Granny, that's cool. But I've been talking about it for a long ass time. And like always, I got to reiterate what I say. So, my theory is that the second poem was revealed to us in the Medium article. And that Medium article was not written by Jack Stoof whatsoever. It was written by the original OG finders that relay back to the auction website. Now, the reason why I was so obsessed with the auction website a couple of years ago is because it's the only thing that has been able to fill in the blanks for certain things. Not only that, but the Condor 2 Reddit database is another huge piece of evidence. So there's so many different theories in relation to the auction website, but if you take a step back and you look at the different players, the different pieces from the auction website versus this ending, it starts to fill in the blanks a lot better. So I think that, like I said before, Gigi and I have talked about this a multitude of times. I think even Huli as well. It's Eric Sloane, the double omega. Come on, it's Eric Sloane. And so A Reverence for Wood. I did a show on it a while ago, like last year on my original channel. And I remember Susie. Susie was in the chat and she was super excited because I was talking about Eric Sloane. And let's see, Susie Fenhaven, Alan Kelly, Nelica, and Gigi, and I think even Huli too, are like avid Sloane researchers. Okay. They know everything there is to know about Eric Sloane. It's so refreshing and great. And think about this. Okay. If the original chase was based off of details surrounding Forrest brother Skippy's alleged murder, then what do you think the second Omega could be? Because think about this. I think it was back in either 2018 or 2019 when Once Upon a While, the revised edition, got released. We were shocked because there wasn't a double Omega anymore. There was only one Omega, single Omega. And if you think back to the timeline with whoever Jack was teamed up with or whatever's going on with Jack and his partners, the timeline alluded to the fact that Forrest kind of predicted that things would be ending soon. He talked about that guy, told him about, I'm talking about the Cynthia recording that she just recently posted about Fen. He talked about how that guy needs to make a new email and reach out to him, like certain details, right? So in that timeline, he's kind of already premeditating the fact that's going to be over. So if that chase is over, wouldn't that make sense that he would take away one of the Omegas? So now there's only one Omega left. Instead of two Omegas, there's one. So is it possible, and this is all Gigi right here, is it possible that this is the second resting place? So she actually shared that Eric Sloane had two resting places in regards to where he wanted to reside. One was a rock and one was a tree. Okay. Interesting. One was at one point, the other one is another point. So if you look at the patterns of Forrest Fenn, you can see that there are details that allude to him, mimicking other great works. Obviously, Sloane was another great artist slash he was just a very brilliant person. And so he takes a lot of things that he is, a fan of, or, just finds entertaining. Can't even think of the word right now. Hold on a second. Hold on. Hold on. Getting all these messages. Hold on. Okay. Sorry, let me go back over here. Hey, Galaxy. Hey, Craig. Hey, NFJ. Okay, so when he is a fan of something and he likes something, he'll imitate that thing. Okay. Eric Sloan, he talks about an important literature. Or not even just important literature. He talks about it in the very beginning. It's not even a chapter itself, it's just the introduction. Don't you think that's important? I mean, I still to this day believe that TTOTC was Forrest Fenn's manifesto, right? And a manifesto is basically an outline of everything that is yet to come or is going to be predicted to come, right? So the second poem, I 100% still believe it was in the Medium article. So if the people who originally found the treasure chest and relocated it to a new move location to sell the new move location to skip out on capital tax gains, then wouldn't that allude to the fact that the original finders are the ones who had possession of that mysterious second poem? And that is specifically why in the Medium article they bring up the topic about Eric Sloan and that poem. Like, for everyone who isn't aware, Forrest wrote a poem about Eric Sloan, and it literally goes with the other verse that was mentioned in the Medium article. And oh god, I wish I still had that video. I did like such a freaking intense like analysis on A Reverence for Wood on that. But like let's think about this. Like, for one, I honestly don't understand why everyone's getting so upset about an audio clip. It's Fenn talking with people as per usual. And I mean, Dan Barbarisi, when I was doing an interview on him for Chasing the Thrill book, he admitted to having hours upon hours of audio and I think video recordings too of Forrest. And I was like, would you ever release that to the community? Because I mean, that would be amazing. And he was like, nope, never. So I don't know why people get all pissy about certain people having old things that were mentioned years ago, and then it's just like it's the theme, just get pissed off and bitch about a bunch of things that aren't in your control, and I don't understand it. And what's really annoying is that, again, we mentioned this years ago and no one took validity to it. Like, there's no validity taken for the second poem theory. And if people would have shut up for 2 seconds and listened back then, we could have teamed up back then and probably figured out a lot more than in comparison to now. Like, right now, we're having to backtrack, and we're continuously having to backtrack. Like, this was said years ago, auction website. This was said years ago, Condor 2 Reddit database. This was said years ago. And by the way, I'm going on record saying I think it was found August 27th, 2019, not September 3rd, August 27th. And there's a lot of details that allude to that in the Condor 2 Reddit database, especially with Shannon's email from 2018. I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago. I believe that in one of the interviews that Cowleyser did with Christy and Shannon, it kind of alludes to the fact that Shannon knew what was happening, because the day that she was on Cowleyser's and she was talking about the blaze being a tree and then like a bunch of other stuff, and it was talking about like Marty being the 500 footer. Like, there's this one interview that she was doing, and on that same day in 2019, I believe it was August 26th or August 27th, you go to the Condor 2 Reddit database and it's already showing you that it's been found. Like, it's already done. And it even talks about, one of the comments is saying, oh, it was found, but we're going to keep it there. Hopefully no one dies. Like, I have the screenshot for that comment. And it's so crazy because a couple months later, someone actually did die. Yet there's this comment on the Condor 2 Reddit database that states, oh, yeah, we found it, but we're just going to keep it here and hopefully nobody dies. So, yeah, that's some pretty damning commentary evidence in relation to what happened. Like, I don't know. So, here's the theory. Second poem, second location, second inspiration, Eric Sloan. Give a huge amount of credit of that to Gigi. And I mean, on my channel, I give credit where credit is due. I'm so tired of people continuously taking other people's fucking work and not saying, hey, by the way, this was mentioned before. It's a great idea. Let me build onto it. How hard is that? How hard is that to just add to someone else's idea instead of fucking taking it and passing it off as your own? It's just so annoying to me. But yeah, Gigi, a huge piece on Gigi for that. She's currently out looking for the bells and jars. I think that woman is gonna find one. If anyone's gonna find one of those, it's gonna be Gigi. But it was interesting. Like Galaxy was in Ashley's chat earlier, and he was asking, the lawyer about like, or I'm sorry, let me reiterate. Hillary's husband, who's a lawyer who could just answer questions, he's asking about like double chess theory. I tried asking the question of skipped, but it was in regards to what happens if someone goes out and moves one, like the chest from one location to another. Is that illegal? Or is it legal because they originally found it? Like so many questions that I wish someone would just acknowledge and try and answer. But just think about this, like the second poem. I really like the fact that there's the third second poem. And you even see Cynthia was allowed to post the email from Dale talking about, no, I'm not saying it was the poem that Forrest wanted you to read to him. He said straight up, Forrest told him there was a stanza. And like I said before, it was a stanza, not an entire poem, a stanza that was in the chest that he would know automatically he wrote it, and that was the OG finder. Okay. And no, I don't think it's in the olive jar. No way. I don't think it's in the olive jar. Again, it's in the Medium article. Now, think about this. The Medium article came out, I think it was 2 weeks to the day after Fenn's passing. Okay. So sometime in September. I think it was like September 7th, 13th, like 20 something, September 20 something. And it basically was like we were never meant to know who it was, right? It was just like, I'm the finder, this is what's happening, he died protecting my secret, I want to protect my family, all this stuff, right? And that was supposed to be it. And then remember Forrest talked about more discoveries to find or whatever from Dale's blog, and then the original finder on the Medium article talking about how he's going to try and do what Fenn wanted him to do. And then all of a sudden the bullshit lawsuits happen, which by the way, I think the lawsuits are a huge reason why everything's so horrible. Like everyone should realize that, know that. But then the lawsuits happen, and what's next? Well, Jack Stoof is literally forced down our throats. And Jack Stoof is essentially the one that's the face to distract from. Okay, so hidden in plain sight or the shiny distracting thing. As a treasure hunt creator, what you do is you create something so obvious, it's staring you right in the face, but you're never going to see it because it's that obvious, right? So Jack Stoof is that obvious. And what we originally had to work with was the mystery of a finder or finders, right? And even on the auction website, it says 3 can keep a secret if 2 of them are dead. Well, we know through the auction website that there were 3 people involved in the finding. And then there was someone who was a friend who decided to build a website, which is mastermind coding, by the way. And then there was also a seller and a buyer. So you need to find those characters and fill in the blanks with that. And I've been doing that pretty good for the past couple of years, and I think I'm onto it. But you have to look at the different details, kind of like a murder board, okay? And anyone who loves to play the game Clue, you'll understand. You got to find the motive, you got to find the setting, you got to find the timeline, and you have to find the whodunit, right? Just whodunit. Why is this happening? Whodunit. And right now, let's see. Let's go to remove, and then let's go to the next person who does that. Hey, Ben. Just gonna block because this is absolutely just so pathetic, these trolls. So the point is whodunit, right? You gotta think on theory of why this ended the way it ended. Now, if you use the auction website as a fill in the blank, murder board card, it tells you the ending was the shit ending that we all got because the chase was essentially taken from Forrest. And he was put in such a bad dilemma. Now, this is my own private theory, okay? There's no insider information. Everything that I have come to this conclusion of is based on my own research or other people's research that we've collaborated on together, but there's no actual evidence. That's the only annoying thing, is there's no actual hard concrete evidence, but there's enough speculation for you to fill in the blanks and make your own assumptions, okay? So the chase was taken from him. He was put in such a bad legal bind. I mean, think about this. A searcher died. Yellowstone was not happy. They haven't been happy for a while. He's been correspondence with Yellowstone for God knows how long, talking about unhinged searchers going and tearing up the countryside. So it was taken from him, right? And the solution was never allowed to be exposed. The location was never allowed to be exposed. Hell, he even says step-by-step instructions on the original finder: don't ever come out. Don't ever show them who you are, or else you're going to spend $40,000 or more on the appraisal. You're going to have to do all this other stuff. And like, as fucked up as it is that these people may have allegedly moved the treasure chest from one location to another, it is actually a smart tactic on their part in regards to selling the location versus selling the chest, right? Because like they said in the auction website, and trust me, I advise everyone to go to the auction website, use the Wayback Machine. It's forrestfenntreasure.com, and just read it yourself. In the auction website, it talks specifically about everyone involved having to sign an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement, okay? And it states that the sellers and the buyers and the finders will never know the identities of one another. And it even advises the buyer to figure out how to avoid capital tax gains. So think about, in the chase community, certain patterns and details that were mentioned in the auction website and align that with who we know in the chase right now. Okay, it was mentioned that there was a movie, there would be a movie, there would be a book, there would be a possible other treasure hunt. All this stuff in regards to the person who was trying to buy the chest. You had two bidders, right? To this day, we will never know who those bidders are. I honestly, in my humble opinion, I think one of the bidders was Justin Posey, hands down. Another one as a possibility, I think, could be Scott. He was very interested, and he is the original link to the GPS / the Lacey Creek connection, which just so happened to be the same connection to the false K-Pro Cow Wyoming LLC that was opened, I think, was it June 5th, 2019, or is that their original? I think that's their original. The other one was like, I got to go back to my screenshots and look. It's like a specific date. But when I was doing all that research, I did find that the signer for both accounts plus the auction website account are all the same person. And what's really fascinating, and I don't really bring this up anymore because again, people don't really pay attention to these details. The company, the LLC company that hired the person who signed not only the fake K-Pro Cow Wyoming LLC, it was also the same company that was rerouted once the auction website was shut down. It rerouted to that Wyoming lawyer. That company they used their own company to confirm their company, which, if you guys understand, that's not how things work. You can't create a company and then use that company to uh justify or legitimize that other company, even if it's a sister company or branch off company. You can't do it. So I did a lot of digging. I had a lot of friends help. It goes back to a shell company. I might be able to go back and find my screenshots and like post it in Discord if people give a shit long enough. But I think that shell company is a very important key detail to all of this, because when you have a shell company, you have a lot of money to back you. And the only person I could think of that has that amount of money to do something like this would be John Collins Black. See, the thing is, in a murder mystery, the original suspect, let's just say the killer, right? The murderer always returns to the scene of the crime. And I want to look more into the details behind the olive jar, especially the details that Jack Stoof allegedly was corresponding with Cynthia about the olive jar, because you've got the original finder, right? Or finders back in 2019. They're trying to figure out what to do. It's 3 people. They got to figure out to split it, and then they need a fall guy, just like the website says. And then, in order to be able to get the money that you want, you can't touch the chest. You got to keep it as is, aside from the poem, right? You have to keep it as is, which means you have to keep the olive jar, and you have to keep other very important details in that chest untouched. Even though the auction website was like, hey, by the way, just to prove that this happened, which I find that fascinating too. The auction website specifically stated, to prove this story happened, we took one item out of the chest, emerald ring, and moved it to the original location so that anyone else who wants to continue playing the game and try and solve Forrest Fenn's chase is more than welcome to. Okay, right? But they were not allowed to touch the olive jar. So what happens? Years later, you've got Justin Posey randomly coming out as one member of the entity LLC. Okay. And there's a multitude of different searchers / chasers that are all involved in this. And they grouped in Cynthia, they grouped in Matt, which is fascinating. Matt's always at the scene of the crime. I find it very fascinating. But then, as the auction's going, and don't forget, Shiloh was never invited to bid on his own items that he wanted. He was never given an opportunity for any of that. I've got messages from him that states that specific fact. He was never invited to the influencer event or to pre-purchase what he wanted to get. And the entire time the auction was actually going down at Heritage Auctions, he was asking me, hey, did you get anything you wanted? I got what I wanted. Okay, well then out of nowhere, you get John Collins Black, who did a big bid on the olive jar. Is it possible John Collins Black is the one who returned to the scene of the crime? Because I'm telling you, whoever was behind this auction website, they have to have money. And I'm talking money. And if they don't have money, they're associated with someone that has deep pockets. Okay. This shell company is like, there needs to be more digging done on it, but I'm just a little scared to do it because sometimes you uncover stuff you really shouldn't uncover, right? So the only thing unaccounted for in the chest is the second poem, second stanza. I don't even know why we're saying a fucking poem. It's not. It's a stanza, okay? And the part about shut them up, I don't think that was Forrest. I think that was added by the original finder to throw us off. I think the very first stanza reads exactly like what Forrest wrote about Eric Sloan and his final location. And think about it. It's all about final locations and deaths. And one thing I will share with you and tell you is that back in when A Gypsy's Kiss were doing their own treasure hunt, and we were doing like Zoom collaborations with everybody to try and solve it. Nelica reached out to me and was like, Candy, I need you to do a private Zoom with me after. I got some stuff I need to share with you. And we had like a long, long, really nice conversation about like so many details. But one thing she talked about was Forrest describing his special location, not like by name or anything like that, just like painting a vivid picture. And she said that Peggy was there. It was her, Peggy, and Fenn. And he was just in the moment describing that serene, beautiful place and how it tied into Eric. And she specifically stated that she thought it was, general Firehole area. I believe she said the same one I did, which was Sentinel Creek. That was my actual OG real solve. But like, I'll never forget that. This is before we knew Jack Stoof existed. That's another detail. That was before we knew Jack Stoof existed. It was just a random person that's like, hey, I'm the finder. All focuses on me. That's it. And see, the thing is, when you have a fall guy, you set it up for the fall guy, right? So then they went in and the Medium article shows, oh, this is now the owner of Jack Stoof. I don't think Jack Stoof created the Medium article. Not to mention, Pam even stated that parts of the Medium article were written by Forrest. And I bet you anything, the Eric Sloan part was written by Forrest. And that is why they inserted that other stanza. That is the second poem. I don't know how many times I can keep saying this over and over and over and over again. And I mean, sure, yeah, Dale could be right and say maybe Forrest was testing him. You'll never know. Oh God. For people who are trolling, I wish they would take the time to educate themselves long enough to understand proper spelling and grammar. I mean, honestly, I find it insulting that you can't take 5 seconds of your day to go to Grammarly and try and self-educate yourself on how to speak like a normal fucking person. So thanks, INFJ, for timing that troll out. It's just ridiculous. If it was the finder, I wouldn't exist. Oh wait, never mind. John Teeter. I mean, if John Teeter's John Collins Black, I would laugh my butt off. But like, think about it. Either John Collins Black is associated with it or something, but he's the one with the olive jar, right? You're gonna go back and return to the scene of the crime. You're gonna return to the scene of the crime. And think about this. Every time the emerald ring is brought up, sure, Tim, give me 1 second. Let me see if I have a screenshot of it. Every time the emerald ring is brought up, we are given a different reason for why it's not around. So first I went straight to Shiloh and was like, hey, what's up with the emerald ring? And he's like, I don't have it. I don't know. I know a lot of things, but the fate of the emerald ring isn't one of them. Then you go to Cynthia, who went to Zoe, and first was, oh, it was returned to them, blah, blah, whatever. And then another one was, oh, it's a family heirloom. Like, what? I'm sorry, Forrest specifically stated in TTOTC that that emerald ring was found at San Lazaro with a metal detector. How can that be a family heirloom? In order for something to be a family heirloom, it has to be within the family for X amount of years. I think like at least 100 years or something. So there you go. And yeah, John Teeter, isn't that from that war movie? The what was that one, Ben? It was like against the computers and stuff. Um, it's not what they say on the blogs, it's what they whisper. Yeah, I know, Pam. When I first read that, I remember I came across your article where you were talking about Sloan. You were talking about, I think it was your blog I came across. I thought it was so cool, and I almost really was convinced that it was found. I was like, I remember coming across it. I screamed, and my ex, he was like, "What's wrong?" And I was like, "No, it's found." He's like, "What was found?" I'm like, "Oh, Fenn's treasure." And this is like, I think this is 2018, maybe, or maybe no, maybe it was 2017. And I honestly, truly believed that you had found it and it was over. And I remember I did like a lot of the stuff that you talked about. And I mean, the rabbit hole that I go down is just so far, like, I don't think anyone will ever be able to chill that one. Hey, Trusted. John Collins Black doesn't exist, but John Collins does back in California. Yeah, no, I know Trusted. See, the thing is, I've been getting harassed and accused of doxing people. So, yeah, I'm not gonna. Let's just say, yeah, it's California and he's very rich, and it was recently. So, let you think about that one. John Collins is home. Well, see, normally, Granny, I would be okay with you being in my chat room chilling, but you're like, oh, you could sue her for the penal code, blah, 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 blah. So, I mean, unless you keep your chill in my chat, get the fuck out. I'm so done with these like trolls. I can't even explain it. So, all of you guys with the wrench, let's play whack-a-mole. In the spirit of street, let's play whack-a-mole, okay? Yeah, war games. There we go. You're right, John Doe, war games. Um, so yeah, like I'm just trying to say the like Pam, you're probably the best to try and explain it because you're the one that got that email. But instead of people trying to push you on the narrative of Forrest writing the Medium article or the chase being prematurely ended, did that email have anything to do with Eric Sloan at all? And if it did, what is your theory or your interpretation of what he was trying to convey with that email? Imagine if Eric Sloan wrote the Medium article many years ago. Oh, I like that one, Pam. That's a good one. I like that one. Let me know if you want me to hit a link and you could jump on and talk about what you think of about that. I mean, I'm not going to pressure you and say, "Oh, I want to know the contents." I'm a pretty good interviewee and interviewer, so if you want, jump on. I can figure out how to ask the right questions without crossing the lines and making you feel like you're being forced to share something you don't want to share. Because yeah, again, I think Gigi is so 100% like on the dot with the Eric Sloan thing. And I feel like we need to collectively come together, especially everyone who's an expert in Eric Sloan should come together and really look at this. Because again, 3 years ago, myself, Ben, Hooli, Gigi, Q, Mama Q, a lot of people were invested in the auction website and no one would listen. Packer Jack, especially, was the one who pushed me to keep looking and digging. Okay. And even with all of that, even with all of our streams, all of our shared materials of the research we've been doing, we still didn't really get to give the validity to it and have more, more people working on it. Hold on. Thanks for the invite. Definitely another time. Okay, yeah, no worry, Pam. So like now, look, I'm giving you guys a chance. Like, remember last time before? And I find it really funny how, there are people in the Chase community that say I literally have done nothing for the community when all I do is shit for the community. But that's beside the point. When they say I've brought nothing to the community, motherfucker, I brought you the auction website. Ben, myself, Gigi, Hooli, Q, Packer, we brought you the auction website. Remember that. Remember that, okay? So again, 3 years ago, we were already talking about the auction website. And now I'm telling you at this very moment, the auction website and the Medium article and the Condor 2 Reddit database are a puzzle piece. It's a puzzle piece. What if this is how Forrest was going to leave it? He knew that the original chase was compromised or fucked up or hijacked, whatever, just like the hijacked what was it, Jack hijacked or something, or Jack hid cash. Like, remember that weird email? What if this is him trying to make up for it? What if this is him going, okay, here's another opportunity to find something else? And this time he left it to Shiloh. Because if you look at it and all the years and all the interviews and everything that he's done, it's always been Shiloh right next to him. And I can actually see that because I was super close with my grandfather as well. And again, the whole reason hijackcash@gmail.com. Yeah, there you go. The whole reason I even got into this chase to begin with was because I miss my grandfather. He passed away. And I always told Forrest this, even before I was like actually really close with him. I told him, the whole reason I'm working on your chase is because you remind me so much of my grandpa. And I said, my grandpa, I always believed he was the smartest man in the world. And I told Fenn, I'm like, you come in a close second, right? It's really funny. But I was like, my grandpa was still around. He would have solved your poem like that. And so the fact that my grandparents had a lot of grandchildren, like we have a lot of grandchildren in the family. I was still the closest with both of them. And so I can see how Shiloh is also one of the closest grandchildren to Forrest. And look at it this way. Like, I think originally, allegedly, first he went to Preston to try and do his biography. Preston couldn't do it, but he wrote the Codex, which I think is another huge puzzle piece to all of this. And then when that wouldn't work, he went to Dale, and Dale was doing it for a while, according to Cynthia and the recordings. And then something happened where he couldn't do it. So what happens? Fenn turns to his grandson, Shiloh. Why do you think Shiloh is entertaining all of us, including me? Including me. I swear, I bet I freaking send that kid crazy sometimes. Like today, I sent him, I'm like, hey, are you stuck in a tree in a freaking tropical jungle again? Like, who responds to that? Shiloh responds to that. And then Ben has the DB Cooper thing. There's just like so much. And then to know that the CIA is actually linked in brings so much more validity to the conspiracies that we've been, cooking up over the years. I mean, we listened to, what was that recording of Forrest in the Russian, he was in Russia for the art and stuff like that. We listened to that. I think it was last year in Discord. It was the audio recording. And Mylan was especially in there. And we were all like, yo, he's CIA. And we didn't even need a leaked Forrest Fenn biography to give us validation on that theory. Like, we all saw it. We all knew it. But it's funny because people actually have to have concrete evidence in order to actually believe it, right? It's not enough to just believe in something. You actually have to have concrete evidence, which is so annoying. It's the whole concept, or the differentiation between magic versus science. That concept, right? Like, magic is something that you can believe in, but science, the same concept as magic, is only considered science if it has factual evidence to back it up. So you've got a bunch of people who are more science-based versus miracle or magic based. And what's fascinating too is, again, I'm not religious whatsoever, but I mean, religion is the biggest form of magic you could think of. It's all based on faith. Okay? Yeah, you've got science versus magic. Okay, whatever. Anyways, I think there is so much more to all of this, and there's a reason for it. Like, think about this. Again, the original title of TTOTC was going to be called The Rye Sequel, right? Which is the sequel to The Catcher in the Rye. And what's interesting is, like, I think 5 years ago, when I was going deep down rabbit holes, I found evidence and proof that someone did try and find a way to claim sequel to The Rye, Catcher in the Rye, and they were rejected by the heirs of J.D. Salinger. So, wow, it's fascinating that Forrest was trying to name TTOTC The Rye Sequel, yet he couldn't do it. So instead we have The Thrill of the Chase, which, again, news articles prove that it wasn't The Thrill of the Chase. It actually used to be The Thrill of the Find. And if you think about the whole plot line on The Catcher in the Rye, you'll see that the Catcher in the Rye and the main character, Halden Caulfield, loses their innocence in childhood when they lose something. And the one thing that Halden lost was his brother. That's like the biggest piece of concrete evidence I could think of to give more reasoning behind the first part of the chase that Forrest did it for. He lost his brother Skippy in Cozumel, Mexico. And up until recently, we did not know it was because Skippy was allegedly murdered. That's huge. Okay. That is huge. And if you dig deeper into the symbolism and the different style of the treasure chest itself, it goes back to Cozumel. That's why he went to Rikavashki the first time. He tried to obtain Rikavashki's chest from Cozumel because he is the ultimate know-it-all leader when it comes to Cozumel, Mexico. Okay. You guys really should go to his website. It has everything that you could ever think about Cozumel, including the original Indiana Jones. He was in Cozumel. He was the one who discovered the Palace of Palenque. Okay. Not to mention, Douglas Preston's ancestor was literally with him when Palace of Palenque was discovered. And oh, by the way, thanks to Discord, which I find it funny that people are trying to trash Discord when they're in Discord. Like, it's one thing for me to be an emotional hot mess drama queen that you guys know and love who I am, where I cry and I'm upset because the mods weren't doing what they're supposed to do and I was just being a brat, right? It's another to say false accusations and bullshit about Discord when you're in there. So last night, I believe it was, oh my God, who was it? Someone in Discord last night posted an article that showed before Forrest obtained the rights to San Lazaro, the original owners were trying to knock shit down looking for gold. Like, that is literally the epitome of the plot line for the Codex, you guys. And then again, Douglas Preston's Cities of Gold. Like, oh, I can't even explain to you that much. But anyways, let's go back to Skippy, right? He was allegedly murdered in Cozumel, Mexico. And it says that there was like lacerations on his face and it looked like he got in a fight. And then all of a sudden, like, there's just so much that doesn't add up, right? Unless it does, because you go back to the Codex written by Douglas Preston, who was given the entire Forrest Fenn story back in 2001, but then was like, I can't do this anymore. Now, you guys got to remember too, Preston also is associated with the CIA. He teamed up with the CIA to solve the I think it was the Monster of Florence or something like that murder mystery, which links back to Cozumel, by the way. I did a lot of digging on that a couple of years ago. Long story on that one. But it keeps connecting. It keeps connecting. So if the thrill of the chase is originally to bring more validity and more awareness to Skippy and how Skippy died, and the one chapter in TTOTC that has the stamp somewhere in Wyoming is The Long Ride Home, which is specifically about how he and his brother have a fight somewhere between Shoshone and Casper, and how all of a sudden he comes back for him and he like they're like closer than ever, right? And then all of a sudden he goes and tells you, oh, by the way, Skippy died in Cozumel and we had to bribe the officials there to bring his body back home. Like, what? I'm gonna think about that. What was my first call to you about? The first ever call we had. When you were camping on my Zoomy, it was the Codex. That's why we started talking, is because we were talking about the Codex. Skippy was murdered in Mexico. What does this have to do with DB Cooper? Granny, I am not deep in the rabbit hole with DB Cooper like Ben and Alan are and Christy, but what I can understand is that the flight that was allegedly hijacked from DB Cooper was on the way to Mexico, right? Mexico. So if Forrest Fenn's brother Skippy was allegedly murdered in Mexico, I would think to assume DB Cooper in Mexico probably align. It's not that hard to film the blinks. Dan Cooper and Ha made the pilot change vectors to Mexico. See? The Codex, yep. Let's see. It's now time to rebuild with different directives. It's really funny how Sensei Prose, I know who you are. Your shitty ass grammar and bad spelling give you away like no other. So have fun with that. Don't You could just come back under your other account unless you're too scared, but hey, I know exactly who you are. Autocorrect can go to heal. Go to heal. Hey Tim. Um yeah, like I don't I don't know much on DB Cooper. I've never given myself the time to actually look into it. I think like one night for maybe 30 minutes I started poking around and I found some interesting stuff, but I'm like, eh. And I do remember asking Ben, I'm like, hey, is there a list of all the passengers on that flight? Because I don't think it was just a heist or a heist for a bank robbery, right? Like, I don't think they basically hijacked a plane to get the FBI or the CIA to give them a bunch of money and for them to jump out of a plane. I think it's possible they were trying to obtain something on the cargo ship, whatever the passengers had on board. Like, I think that could be something important, but I don't have those records or those details to be able to figure out who the passengers were for that flight. I would be interested though, especially because the Groiler Codex is, a lot more involved than you guys think. And again, I don't have actual concrete evidence per se, but I sure do have enough to fill in the blanks. Um, Michael Coe, you guys got to look into Michael Coe. And it's just so fascinating that Michael Coe also died around the same time. Like, okay, think about this. Forrest Fenn, Michael Coe, George Fishin, and I think it was one more other person died right before Fenn did. And they're all associated with Cozumel. Like, that's kind of freaky. The plan was to get international airline security installed. What? Read Preston's Bloodless book. I can't. I still haven't even finished the fucking codex. Like, I've got it on audiobook, but every time I listen to it, I fall asleep. So I know the plot and I know the important details that I was looking for in regards to the codex without reading the whole thing of the codex. And the main point is that the codex, which is a Mayan codex that was hard to translate until they could translate the Mayan hieroglyphs and stuff, is being used and could cure cancer, and if used in the wrong hands on the black market could cause devastation around the world. COVID. And I think it was like the plot line is like the FBI or the CIA are involved and they're trying to obtain that missing codex, right? There's like missing pages. And obviously the Forrest Fenn character, he magically disappears one day and he dares his children to come find his actual like resting place where his body is and everything. Hey, Trusted. And so he's like basically daring his family to go look for his actual body. And I think there's like a bunch of art that's missing and other items. And there's this one brother that just doesn't want to do it. But then Sally Colorado comes to him and tells him all about the codex. And he's like, okay, this is why we need to actually find this. So then he's like, okay, I'll help you just with that. And then there's the other brother that's kind of crooked. And it eventually leads you to a place. Now, this is the thing. So when Forrest gave his interview or gave his life story to Douglas Preston, I believe it was like in 2001, which just so happens to be the same timeline when Cities of Gold was released by Preston. But anyways, he gives a timeline, and then in the interview for The Chase, he tells you, oh yeah, I told my story to Preston, and we decided to change a little bit of it. And so he says it goes from Mexico to Honduras. Fascinating. Fascinating, especially because if you think about it, the whole concept of the codex, they're talking about the lost city of the monkey god, right? White City of the Monkey God. And later on in the future, after Forrest tells the story to Preston, later on in the future, this is actually real. Preston discovers the white city of the monkey god in Honduras. Wow, mic drop over there. We were one signature away from blowing up a commercial airliner over Cuba. What? The DoD had a false flag planning going on in 1962 and Sitting Bull's peace pipe. System of control is at its end. So this is the thing about all of this, though. Okay, so Sitting Bull's peace pipe. They had to do a whole bunch of analyzation and appraisal and all kinds of stuff. And didn't Forrest say that the reason why they gave validity to it being Sitting Bull's peace pipe was they compared the grains of wood from a photo of Sitting Bull to the one that he found? Now, I don't know about you guys, but White Collar is probably one of my all-time favorite TV shows. And it's about a con artist who's really, really good at replicating shit. And Forrest tells you in TTOTC, it's not a forgery if you don't sign it. Okay. So you could do a bunch of different forgeries. And wasn't Climber a huge thing? And then who was the other person, Ben, that you guys were talking about recently, who is also a con artist, who did like really great forgeries? Like, you've got all these forgery like connections, right? Okay, so one main example, and this is from Hooli originally, was Omega Man. The Omega Man who created double eagles with a little omega symbol to basically mark that this is what they did. And it's believed that Omega Man wasn't just a person, it was like at least more than 2 or 3 people. And it was during the time of, was it World War II? Was it World War II? Or no, it wasn't World War II. Shit, what war did Fenn fight in again? I can't remember. I'm terrible with timelines. Anyways, it's always going back to forgeries. Yeah, Dahori. And isn't Capro under the assumption that it's possible Fenn was Dahori's apprentice? Like, I don't know. I've got major White Collar vibes from Fenn, and I'm not saying in a bad way. I don't think forgeries are criminal or deceiving. I see it the same way Forrest sees it. If you are smart enough to pull it off, you should appreciate it. And what devalues it? You were already appreciating that art before you knew if it was an original or a fake. The point is you're appreciating it for the art and not for the price. And I feel like there's so much more to this, especially the chest that we have now. Is it possible that is a forgery too? I think it was. Because if you go to the what was it? Was it the Ohio? Is that other chest, the Fenn replica chest, is it in Ohio? I can't remember. Detroit. I think it was Detroit. So the Detroit Museum has an exact replica as Fenn treasure chest, and there's one tiny little dot missing. And that just so happens to be the same dot that's missing on Fenn's treasure chest. And he has actually emailed and told a searcher in the community that makes Fenn replicas that he cast his own replica. And so again, I believe that Forrest made a replica from the Detroit Museum, which Eugene Thaw was actually on the board. He's a board member of. And I think it was last year, I found paperwork and articles that showed there was something missing from the inventory. And it's really funny because when whoever, I think it was Matt DeMoss who did this, which that's sus, by the way. Matt DeMoss, I believe, is the one who connected the Detroit Museum chest back in 2019, which again, that's fascinating. If you think about it, 2019, you get these answers, right? And the museum itself even said, oh, we thought this was lost, but it just turned up again. I find that fascinating, right? So there's a lot of forgery connections. X Marks the Spot podcast, they have an entire branch off podcast that talks about forgeries and this huge art heist that leads back to, I think it was Hamner, you know, Army Hammer's grandfather, the one who did a bunch of crazy shit, including art forgeries. And there was this like insurance scam about a warehouse full of art going up in flames and these people getting the insurance money for it. And they were the ones that allegedly set the fire. And what's really fascinating, if you guys don't watch White Collar, the TV show, that's exactly an episode that happens in White Collar for the forgeries. They discover the lost treasure of the Nazis and stuff, of Hitler. And in the warehouse, everything burns up. And then it's not found out till later that it was switched by the forger, like the one who's being forced to work with the FBI. He like ends up pulling off the best scam ever. And him and Mozzie and a few others happen to take the entire warehouse full of art and they switch it with a bunch of forgeries and then set that on fire. Like, if anyone wants to talk about like, oh, shows are based off of this person, hands down, White Collar, story of Forrest Fenn. I'm not even kidding. There are so many different things that like allude to just like, I don't know. Sometimes I sit here and wonder, like in the big top secret societies of the world with all these people with power and money, if they just sit around and just share their life stories, and then the big producers are like, yeah, I like that. I'm gonna make a TV series out of that. Because there's just so many things that you just, it's not a coincidence anymore. Hey MS, you think Shiloh is going to announce part 2 of the chase? No, actually, I think I think there's a difference. I feel like in order to protect his family, I think this round is only for those that can figure it out. Like, okay, think about this. The chase was presented to us, right? Back in 2010, it was there. Come figure this out. The original chase was meant to go and find Fenn's body, his resting place, and then rob his grave, right? Which everyone, it's funny because people were like, oh, Fenn was a grave robber. Well, again, did you know that the codex that was found around Cozumel, Mexico, around the same time Skippy died, was found by 2 grave digging brothers? Mystery brothers, by the way. And when they sold it to this mystery person who was this like secret millionaire that lived in Santa Fe, New Mexico. And he ended up purchasing it and putting it on display at the Broiler Museum in New York. Now, remember, Forrest had a lot of connections in New York, especially the Broiler Club, in relation to Eric Sloan and Michael Kremner. And I honestly think myself, I think Michael Kremner is that mysterious person who purchased the Broiler Codex. I'm not even kidding. And what happened was the Mexican officials eventually found out that the Broiler Codex, which originally they were trying to say it was a fraud. They were trying to say it was a forgery, it wasn't real. And it took a while, and it was finally proven, oh yeah, this is legit. It's a real Mayan codex, because there's only, I think, 4 in the entire world that have been discovered, because back then, during the time of Coronado and stuff, they just like fucking pillaged and plundered everything about the Mayas and destroyed all their codexes. And so this one specifically, they say it was found somewhere around Cozumel and in that general area, but it was in a cave, and it was discovered by 2 brothers who were grave diggers or grave robbers, right? And once the Mexican officials found out that this person was in basically they had the codex, they went to the Broiler Club and took it. They're like, well, this is ours. Fuck you very much. We're taking this shit back. But before they could, a couple of pages went missing. And I don't know about you guys, but attention to detail is everything for me. That's how I can see patterns. And if you look into it, again, there are only 4 codexes in existence. There's the Paris Codex, oh my God, what was it? There's 4 of them. And there's only one codex out of those 4 that are missing pages, and that's the Groyler Codex, which is now back in Mexico, but there are pages missing. And fun spoiler, at the end of the Codex, written by Douglas Preston, based off of details from Forrest Fenn and his story, well, you find the Forrest Fenn character. He's just chilling in this like cave he was forced to be in Honduras, I believe it was. And when they find him, the missing pages of the Codex are in the treasure chest. So think about that for a second, you guys. You've got this story that was created by Doug Preston after talking to Forrest Fenn about his story that was supposed to be his biography, right? Then he says, I'm not going to do it. Yet he still writes the Codex. And he's like, oh, it's loosely based off of Forrest Fenn. Loosely. Okay, well, how loose is loosely? Because right now, the Codex, you could take certain details from the book and you can apply it to the real world and you could find out. What the hell? Hold on a second. My roommate just started randomly screaming. Trove is real, in my opinion, and the real prize. Solve the goal. The chest was found. The poem continues. What is funny is that one chest has never had a patina. I think the poem continues as well. INFJ. I think that's part of the fun to come promised by Shiloh. I think to a certain extent. I think Shiloh's going to announce part 2 of the chase. I think Shiloh's going to announce something to exceed normal expectations. Does Mike hold that chest? Mike? Oh, Michael Crumner? I think TTOTC led to the chest, but the other 2 books help with the trove. My brother is Hitler in his imagination, the anti-Bill. Alrighty, that's weird. I'm having trouble trusting Shiloh. I don't know why. I've never met him, but something tells me to not trust him. Trusted living. Mike's kid did it. What? Ben, we hope so. We all know he wasn't a timid old man. I thought that was a possibility. Suzanne knows. Ben has learned helping a good thing is a good thing. I took a pill on Robinson Cross Island to show Avicii was. Oh my god. That's funny. MS is asking Bill, how was your vacation? Ben is saying, I've learned a lot along the way, things I hope to apply in the future. Bill Gorman, I got to go visit my fans in Mexico when I fix my leaky radiator. Granny says the Rosetta Stone was a sort of codex. True. Bill, are you visiting your fans around the globe? Secretos de la Corona? What the fuck did I just say? Sally is hot. What, Sally, Colorado? We're going after the big payout. The 50 tons. John Teeter, if you know how to time travel, why do you want the trove? Into the Wild Frontier on May 31st, show about mountain men and explorers. Where's Adam in? Laying under the moon and palm trees listening to you. Ooh, that sounds fun. It's the adventure. Okay, then can I have the trove? I don't know. I think my roommate's drunk right now. Like really drunk. Already. Yeah, so why is she so drunk right now? It's Sunday. I never met him, but I trust Shiloh. I met Shiloh. I met him at the Fenbury. He was really nice. And I met him before the Fenbury. He helped me from falling on my face because DJ wouldn't help me out of my truck, the rental truck we had. And I think my ankle was like stuck and caught up in my luggage or something. And when I went out of the car to go to the front door, like I got stuck and I literally almost face planted it. And Shiloh like saved me from falling face first into a bunch of dirt. So for one, I trust Shiloh, and I think there's nothing nefarious that he's up to. I drank a few rum and cokes tonight. Nice. I haven't drank anything. Well, I mean, I had root beer. I had root beer. I missed out on a fun spa pool day and barbecue with the guy I'm dating because I went to sleep super early yesterday, and then I woke up around like 4 in the morning. But when I do that, it's hard for me to like go back to sleep. So I stayed up till like 11 a.m. and then I slept, and then I didn't wake up till like 5 p.m. And then I looked at my phone and he sent me like, oh yeah, we're done with the storage because they had to move a bunch of storage today. So he was like, come over, we're doing pool and barbecue. And I slept through all of it. I was like, no, no, you can't be wasted on Monday. Yeah, no, MS, I'm good. I'm not drinking. And no one is harassing him. I don't think I'm harassing him when we're texting. Call me crazy. Very, very avid point, Ben. You know who's harassing him though? People who are emailing Shiloh about situations and things that don't even involve him. That I would consider harassing. Like, if you're gonna sit there and bitch to Shiloh about a fucking charm and being like, oh, she doesn't deserve to be in association or corresponding with you. She has never done anything for this community. Like, that's fucking harassing. And it's pathetic. He's been here since like 2001. Who's been here since 2001? MS, Ben, you harass everyone. I think she's saying it as a joke, Ben. Yeah, see, just a joke, Ben. Hey, Davy. Ben John said, gotta be nuts. Walnuts for testes. My moderator for my RV singles group is camped here tonight. Drank a few. Oh, interesting. You have an RV single group? What? Is that gonna be my future when I'm old? No, I refuse. Time traveler John Teeter has been here since 2001. Oh, okay. Now I see what you're saying. Oh, it's funny. Okay. So yeah, but do you guys see what I'm talking about though? Like, there are certain details from the codex, and if you look them up, you can find them in the real world. And since you could find that in the real world, it gives validity to the assumption that there's more to the story of the codex than what we think. And we are all disregarding the codex at our own peril. Like think about that. Like, there's been so many rabbit holes and different things I've looked into. Like, for one, the beads from Fenn's bracelet, they were a shaman's beads. A shaman, okay? I did a whole video on that back in the day. I've tracked down and figured out who the artist was for the bracelet, how to find replicas, just like Packer Jack did that one giveaway. I think Glenna was the one who won that bracelet. Um, there's just so many interesting details that just like keep circulating. His predictions aren't half bad. I still have some clouds of snow in my hair, but it was 78 today and melting fast. It was a lovely day. So nice. Oh, that's good, Luli. Ben, you're a pretty honest guy if people like it or not. Where's the chest in the copyrighted photo? I don't know. Had 150 RVs at my group's Padre Island gathering. Oh, that's cool. RV gathering. Many things have been overlooked by many searchers, in my opinion. Yeah, Davy, stay away from my blue stones and my emerald. That's mine. Oh man, every time I try and look deeper into that and I think, okay, I finally got to the bottom of it, I haven't even scratched the surface. There's just like so much that goes into it, I can't even fathom. Like, my brain can't even comprehend it half the time. Like, if I want to go to sleep, I will go down that rabbit hole and I will knock myself out because I'm just so exhausted trying to understand how deep it goes. I think he should have collected a few. Got 50 going to the Del Norte gathering in August. Let's see. Ashley is good lady. Yes, Ashley is a good lady. And she's always calm and collected. She's the complete opposite of me. Like, she's calm and collected, and I'm just like, unhinged, I'll just go on a tangent. I'm trying really hard not to be triggered as much, but it's a work in progress. Have you read the Codex? Last talk you Googled it. Oh God, what do you want now? Why is my ex messaging me shit? What song do you want? What song? What song is this? Lana Del Rey, Dark Paradise? Really? Dark Paradise? You're gonna use Lana Del Rey on me right now? For fuck's sake. See? Triggered. Yeah, so I started listening to the Codex off and on. I should probably just get the book because it's better for me when I have the book so I can just like look at every single word in detail. I think that's the key to a lot of it. I also need to find time to work on that Christian based treasure hunt because I just really, really want to win the $500,000 prize and then just split it because I'm teamed up with Shannon Bloom in the Chase community. I fucking love her. She's such like she reminds me of Q. She's so freaking amazing and really smart. And she's always like, Candy, I've got a hunt, want to team up? I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever, that's cool. And like she's so funny. Oh my God. So I dragged her into this one. She got the book. She's currently working on another hunt right now. But okay, this is another cool thing, you guys. So you know that Hocking Hills, Ohio treasure hunt that launched like a couple of weeks ago. It was like a couple of days before Easter. They're gonna launch another one. There's 5 in total. So this is gonna be the second one. And it's going to be at the end of May 30th. May 30th is when it launches. And what's fascinating, because I follow the creator. And by the way, this is like perfection when it comes to marketing. This guy owns his own, it's kind of like a Verbo / Airbnb type website. So he owns all these properties, but he like does all this to help build the community, right? And so this next hunt, he's saying you might want to book your stay in Hocking Hills, Ohio, because I think that's how you're going to be able to do it. Because I think the first one was like $10,000, and I think each time they release a new hunt, the prize goes up more and more. And that one was like solved in just like a couple of days. It's just so much fun. So God, I want so badly to come out to freaking Hocking Hills, Ohio and like do a boots on the ground treasure hunt with Shannon. Oh my God, that'd be so much fun. But anyways, you guys, it's gonna be launching May 30th. I think it's really cool. We were supposed to work on that haunt one, and I think it might be the same people, I'm not sure. But it launched on Saturday. And I was over at Vic's. We were just like all hanging out, spa, barbecue pool day, and whatever. And I forgot all about it. And by the time I responded to her, she was like, it was found in 2 hours. So I was like, damn it. I wanted to know the answer because we were analyzing the crap out of the picture before it even launched. The Codex is key, like imagination, scrapbook 179. Scrapbook 179. Now you're gonna have me go and look up scrapbooks 179, don't you? MS, I'm not responding to him. F him. I don't know how he's still seeing my post, by the way. Like the other day, he told me he quoted back the same thing I did for one of my posts. Like I did a post of a picture of all of us in the spa, and I put my happy place with a heart. And he was like, oh, something, your happy place, don't look back. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I'm so confused. How are you seeing my shit? Like, how many people want to listen to you talk? Oh, thanks, INFJ. Yeah, when I'm not distracted and getting talked over, I go on some fun tangents. When is your $1 million hunt going to debut? Really, Granite? Really? Yeah, you just gave yourself away. You just gave yourself away big time. Are you kidding me right now? Oh, hell to the no. I know who you are. Ooh. Okay. Okay. You just gave yourself away. Nice to know I'm getting harassed by a bunch of old middle-aged unhinged men. I once married a couple in Oregon and they had a kid and then broke up, but I did at least be a part of the kid's creation. What? I don't bet Bill, why did I just read that? Oh my gosh, more Forrest Fenn programming. Love it, but going to bed. Would someone summarize this weekend tomorrow? I think David Piasano does the summarization videos, doesn't he? I'm in Nevada if anyone wants to work on whatever the new one Kelly's was talking about. Haven't looked into it yet. Which one's that one? Is it the wine one? I saw he posted a wine one. He posted the $6,000 hunt in like every state or something. I know Xavier Marks is New York, but there's a hint for Las Vegas, Nevada. And by the way, I think it might be pertaining to the Smith Center. Let me see. Official senior 65. Ah, that's funny, Bill. 5 or 6K1. Yeah, see, I haven't watched that video yet. I'm still focused on the treasure that was already found hunt. You guys, you know how unhinged that sounds? Like, seriously. I was saying in Discord this morning, I was like, I'm shocked nobody has tried to use us as like the epitome of just what to avoid in society. Like, we would give Tiger King a run for their money. The type of characters we have in this chase community is absolutely just mind-boggling. Mind-boggling. Like, I feel like the reality show should be titled I unintentionally joined a treasure hunting cult and it changed my life. Not in the best way either. It's just so weird. Okay, anyways, back to my tangents. Hold on. Oh, that's cool, Bill. Hold on. Yeah, many things have been overlooked by many searchers. I agree. I agree to that. Oh, synchronicity. Room 65 for your 65th birthday. Well, happy belated birthday, Bill. Okay. Got 50 going. Okay, I read that one. Okay, anyways, back to tangents. So here's the thing. Ben, if you're still in chat, let me know because I think you're the best one to ask this. If not, it would be probably moisturize. But since I haven't officially read the entirety of the Codex book, can anyone tell me if there is any validity to a poem in and of itself? Because I think for the Codex, there isn't a poem that needs to be cracked. It's clues, right? It's like a scavenger hunt versus a treasure hunt. Luli, Bill, I'm still older than you. It's okay, Luli. We still love you. We still love you. Yeah. The fact that I want to like block Gran and Granny, the feeling to block him is so strong right now. So strong. It kind of it makes sense now though, like why there's so many horrible troll videos about me. It's the same person. Cool beans. Kelly and Zoe answered my oracle question in a dream. Do I even want to know? Okay, I kind of want to know. What was the dream, Bill? What was the dream? Were you incarnated as, or were you reincarnated as a dog? And they called you Bill, maybe. I don't know. Or Jack. Right. In the codex, they know the ending point, but didn't know the starting point. In the poem, we're given a start, but don't know the end. Ooh, I like that, Ben. They know the ending point, but don't know the starting point. Wait, can you explain that more, Ben? I need more detail on that. Like, I need to know because I know Doesn't the Codex have a sequel? Is it the Lost City of the Monkey God? No, that's the other one. Shit. I have another book by Douglas Preston too, and it's about the Seven Cities of Gold, and it's not Cities of Gold. I have that one. I have Cities of Gold, I have the Codex, and I have, I think it's Thunderbird. I think it's called Thunderbird. And that's in New Mexico, and it's about the Seven Cities of Gold as well. Um, I haven't had a chance to read those yet. I have so many books I need to read, and all I keep doing are different projects online. I have other interviews set up for this week. It's just, yeah. They know the place they need to get to, but all three brothers take different routes to get there via rivers, yet all converge at the same spot. Huh. Okay. 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 Three rivers, one spot. All different mothers. Wasn't there an illegitimate child or something in the codex, right? The fourth brother? Or is it just three brothers? Kelly realized it was a dream, and I confirmed that it was a dream, and I'm in Greece, and I asked when it was over. Oh, okay. It's kind of funny. I need more details, Ben. Give me more details. Which river? I've just popped in. Did I hear Candy found a city of gold? Hey, John. See, John, I freaking adore John. He's like one of the coolest people in the chase, and he totally supports my city of gold theory. Madison Gibbon Firehole. No, I'm talking about in relation to the codex. What rivers were they using in the codex? Because remember, it changed from Mexico to Honduras. So I'm curious about, could it be the Chama? Because I know Chama means blaze in Portuguese. She said January. What, next January for my birthday? That's my birthday month, Bill. I'm a January baby. Um, Madison Given Farrell. Yeah, I know, but there's more to it though. Like, you guys, I haven't forgotten my Fisher King theory. Okay, the Kingfisher, Fisher King. I haven't forgotten that one at all. I just don't bring it up as much. I know I was making an analogous a statement to the chase. I don't remember the name of the rivers they take, and in the codex, many forks in the river too. Okay, but like, how in the codex, Ben, how do they even come to the realization of where to end it? Do they just like have a piece of paper and they're like, oh, I know my dad, he likes this river, let's go? Or like, what is it? Because there's like a huge element when it comes to treasure hunts. In order to think like the treasure hunt creator, you need to know the treasure hunt creator. It helps tremendously. Prime example, the Christian based treasure hunt. He is an evangelist, a Christian pastor, and he's like super into the apocalypse from the book of Revelations. So take that and apply that to the entire solve. There you go. I was making the okay, hold on. Do. Ben, type faster. Type faster. Let's see. Okay, so anyways, back to my double poem theory again. It's been a while since I read a reverence for wood. I think it was a reverence to wood, or no, it's a reverence for wood. And I remember a lot of details in that book relate back to Fenn. And remember what I said earlier? when Fenn likes something or compliments something, he imitates that thing. So he liked and he complimented Eric Sloan and his word verbiage, his art, and he imitated that. And prime example are Barnes. Barnes, like again, this is from Gigi and Hooli. Barnes. Now imagine taking every path. I must have missed something. What? Ben, you crack me up. I want to. No, it's Sunday. I can't. It's 9 o'clock. It's not worth it. I don't party by myself. Okay. Yeah. Oh, you know what? Here, I forgot this is my Zoom and there's nobody here to talk over me. So let me do this fun little trick. Oh, there's a whiteboard. I forgot about that too. Okay, share photos. I think it was this one. I forgot who shared it in chat, in Discord chat, but look, Department of Anthropology, Department 3431, Laramie, Wyoming, right? Have been uncovered. Mr. Fenn estimates that 99% of the site remains to be explored. The site gives rise to many stories. There is the tragedy of a previous owner who bulldozed some of the ruins in response to rumors that gold was stashed under them. More welcome are the reconstructions of life and the details that make it vivid. The cubby holes in the kiva used to store things are roughly 2 feet long, which is to say the length of an arm. One could imagine people taking advantage of a large basin that was sculpted into a gently sloping stone surface, complete with gutters cut into the rock to channel water to it. The size of the kitchen area and quantity of artifacts suggest how much activity and socializing surrounded the preparation of food. The site also underscores how much history awaits discovery. Pueblos of varying size spread across the landscape. Thanks to the efforts of Mr. Fenn and his colleagues, the story of San Lazaro is adding its testimony to our knowledge of the past. That's from November 2005. Oh, hold on a second. Hold on. Need to do something real fast. Do 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 do. Okay. On messages. Okay. Okay. What else? Okay, that's weird. 514. Hold, please. What is all this? Okay, so shit, hold on. Okay. So then let's see. One. think that's okay. I don't even know what's happening at this moment. Okay, back to over here. Hold, please. Okay, yeah. Chat is moving. Help. Imagine planning your whole life. Okay, can someone send me the 2.0 download? No. Native MS. I'm sorry. In chaos theory, the more accurate the initial conditions, the more accurate the end results. If you don't have where one was halt nailed down, then you have nothing. Plans are antagonistic to freedom. Baby, my friend, how are you down under? MS, hello to you. I am Jean. I'm Jean. Thank you. And you? Don't turn on bipolar street. What? Davy sitting under the desert moon, enjoying this. I want to be sitting under the desert moon. Searchers have fallen short of what F wanted. In my opinion, they hang on for the answer. The question is, what answer is it that you want? Whom does the Grail serve? Hubby is inside watching a war movie. Sleep under it every night. It's awesome to see. The one that pays better than gold. Please, please. Sorry, MS. I don't have the link. And I promised Shiloh I would not look at it. Like, the only thing I did look at was the assumption that Skippy was murdered in Cozumel, because that's like huge to all the research I've been doing for the past like forever. So that's the only little detail I looked at. I peeked at. Everything else I did not look at. Promise I wouldn't. I don't have the link. I am sorry. Do do do. Why are we saying that? That's weird. So it's like 9:30. Oopsies. Hold please. Oh damn. Holy found something interesting in Discord. Nick Wolashuk, who Forrest bought the gallery from and probably who gave him the idea of how to get started in fakes, as told in Eli Levin's book Santa Fe Bohemia, 1964 to 1980. He was Fenn's initial Dr. Horry. Well, wasn't Eli the one that he had to like try and get out of jail or something? And he paid him back with like a picture, kind of looked like Leonardo da Vinci. Like, remember, it was like a black and white sketch, and it's from a scrapbook, I think, but I don't know why that one always stood out to me. Oh, because I think it was on the Santa Fe trading website, blog website. Okay, let's see what Hooli highlighted. He only asked $25 each, a very low price. I bought 3. Meringue was an obsession of his. All the dealers and runners, trading them back and forth. The paintings all seemed to track back to Wolashuk. Shop was empty. In fact, he had sold the whole old Santa Fe village. Okay, Japanese. I knew several runners. Paintings in the trunks of their cars. Jim Parsons, a prime example, even wrote a book on the subject, The Art Fever. John Norton. These runners would smile knowingly and clam up when Nick Wolashuk was mentioned. Hey, that sounds really similar to the auction website. And them talking about being nervous when Preston's around. A few months later, we were once again fretting over the hundreds of missing paintings. I mentioned having seen some of Arthur's paintings along with the whole wall full of the little Gaspards hanging in the new Bank of Santa Fe. Wolashuk had hung part of his collection there. The bank was near where the Haddocks lived, just past the post office and the federal courthouse. Federal courthouse. That's funny. Can you fucking imagine the balls on these people to hang freaking forgeries right in front of the federal courthouse? I get it though. I get it. Sorry. I forget to stop sharing. Back to Zimmerman. Wait, no. Back to this. Okay. So the what? Who killed what? Uh, Tilly is one smart cookie. Yes, she is. It's not what you have, but how you use it. This is true. That's interesting. Go back 10K years. No, I can't. I can't. I don't want to. I don't want to. You can't make me. Ow. Okay. Good night, Tim. John Tudor, what was the youngest Forrest Fenn you ever met? I don't. So many characters. I can't keep up. It's like it's this like huge cognitive map going on, and I'm trying to like share everything that I see with you guys and like how each piece connects, but it is so hard to do that. And I understand you guys need PowerPoints, you need video production, you need it like broken down and laid out in front of you. And it's just, it takes so much time. I remember I tried to do that for a while. I did that with Eugene Thaw and the origin of the treasure chest, and Gigi and I's solve for like Barnes holes. I still have that video too. I have some videos that I have saved, backed up from when I created really cool projects for the community on my original channel. I have those and I might re-upload them. Maybe. Maybe. I definitely still have the very first video I ever created. I love that one so much. It was Aberrations in Warm Waters. Doctor's Office, the magazines. We what? 6 if I answer that correctly. 6, what? I don't know what's happening anymore in my chat room. It has been commandeered. Very serious question. How do we trust a forger statement? Huh. That's a good question. How do we trust a forger statement? Oh, here's an answer for you, MS. According to Flores, it's not a forgery if you never sign it. I will say this though, Nalika did tell me that Forrest Fenn's signature is not Forrest Fenn's signature. That's his celebrity signature. She has his real original signature, but the signatures that we have, those are the Forrest Fenn celebrity signatures. Fascinating. And you know what's fascinating to me too is like when you take the original Rumblings and Ramblings, not 2.0, but the original, and then you compare it to what has been added or changed over the years for TTOTC. Like I think it doesn't matter who you are, it only matters who they think you are. It was something else that he used to say, and it wasn't a person. I think it doesn't matter what you do, it only matters what they think you do. I think that was the right quote he had in there, which I think gives so much more validity to it. Into your relic query chest is real. Yeah, moisture, it is real, but the OG one is falling apart in a castle in Germany. Like they had to re-replicate and put it together. And then this famous artist that's like super is like a major mystery, no one knows who the actual artist is. They ended up taking that and creating their own like plates for forging and stuff in bronze, like not bronze but the metal plates. That's how they were able to manufacture them, because the original one was falling apart and they had to like restructure it back together because it was made out of like chalk and clay and shit. Um, let's see. And in person is old sage, if you don't mind. So, Candy, are we just going to let that go? Let what go? The forgery? I mean, okay, this is something I'll admit. My favorite thing to watch are art heists, or not even just art heists, just like bank heists. Just I love heists, and it's not because of the money, right? It's because you have to watch the team come up with a foolproof plan to go against the system, get away with it, not get caught. Like that is my favorite shit to watch. And if someone could go to such lengths and pull off a forgery, I think there's nothing wrong with it. I really do. I think there's nothing wrong with it. And I wouldn't have a problem with the auction website if it wasn't for the fact that I truly believe that ending is what broke Fenn's heart. I really do. Because I saw him in July 2019. It was early July 2019. He was so happy. And it was just after the fact, and you listen to Cynthia's or audio recording of him in October of 2019. This was a couple of months after I went and saw him. He's just so heartbroken. He's like absolutely just destroyed and heartbroken. And that I'm not okay with. But if you put all the time and effort, you figure it out a way to beat the system, whatever. I'm just a fan of the heist. I think it's really cool. So in my mind, pulling off the perfect forgery is like a heist. It's the perfect crime type thing, right? So I respect it. And I've talked about that many times before. And if Fenn were able to do that, I respect it even more. Yes, the forgeries, but we are the result of his non-truthful statements. He said that he had for lunch. Okay, that's just weird. That's just weird comments right there. Yeah, you guys, you should. I'm gonna sound like Ben now. You guys should go and watch White Collar. I'm not even kidding. White Collar is such a good show. And Matt Bomber happens to be Packer Jack's cousin. I love Matt Bomber. He's perfection. Like no one else in the world could have played Neil other than Matt Bomber. System that beats the system. Exactly, because the system is so screwed up. And you know what's even more messed up if you think about it? The people who make the money, they're the ones that basically sell their souls. They're the ones that go against the system. And it's exactly what it's saying, the system that beats the system. And so the people who make the money go against the system, but then eventually later on become the system. Like Fenn wasn't lying when he said this in an interview. Money changes you. And I remember in the interview, he said he wasn't going to leave his family like anything pertaining to money because he doesn't want his family to be changed. So that's another huge mystery. If Fenn didn't leave his all his money to his family, where is it? Is it just like in the ether? Is that like what is it? I don't know. There's just so many options. And I mean, come on, don't get me wrong, but if I was a secret millionaire that ruled the world and had all this money and was really into treasure hunts and wanted to push a narrative to get people to actually give a shit about things other than society, and I was the system trying to go against the system, I would totally leave breadcrumbs in between my so-called treasure hunt to try and teach you how to find such things. But, that's just me. Is it still viewable? What did Bubba have to say? Yeah, I don't want to talk Toby. I don't want to talk about Rumblies and Ramblies 2.0. I don't want to upset Shiloh and I know he has stated to many people that it's not to be discussed. It's not to be discussed on Discord. It's not to be discussed on YouTube. So I just want to respect him. I mean, talking about how it was revealed that Skippy was allegedly murdered, I think that's okay. But everything else, I didn't even look at, so I can't even join in on that conversation. Find the van. Hey, hey, what are a kidnapper's favorite shoes? Light vans. It's such a dad joke. I think it's hilarious. Uh Need a Fenny's Award for content, biggest BSers, opportunists, audition solution losers. No, not really, Bill. Like, this is the thing. I don't get why so many people are getting so butthurt over the fact that there are others in the world that are in the chase community that just want to explore different options and different possibilities through research. I think there's nothing wrong with that. And I think that people who have a platform, they shouldn't not be able to share those ideas. It's because of imagination and ideas we can even get as far as we've gotten. And the fact that so many have turned 9 Mile Hole into something so negative and looping people together and categorizing them as nookers, that doesn't even categorizes everything. So the original OG nookers were Cynthia, Matt, Posey, and Christy. Or not even Matt. It was Cynthia. Hold on. It was Cynthia, Christy, and Justin. It was those three. They were the original nookers because they went looking for the nook, right? And that was the GPS location. And then I don't remember what happened, but like Christy fell off. So then it was Cynthia, Amy, Matt, and Posey. So those are the only original nookers that you have. No one else can be categorized as a quote unquote nooker because they are not the ones that were there doing those things. So even if you support 9 Mile Hole or even if you question 9 Mile Hole, that does not categorize you as a nooker. And for someone who acts like he knows everything, he should know that fact. You are going to break the code to the blaze. I will give you the info and put the thrill back in the chase for you. Only share the info with Treasure Warriors. What is your email? You know what? Fuck it. Oops. There you go. There's my email. It's feeling epic. I am feeling epic. I'm just saying, like, okay, think about this. Do you remember that AGK letter that Fenn made for their hunt? And a random person that wasn't even the chase won the hunt and didn't even want that letter. So it ended up getting like auctioned off. And I believe it was Nelica who won it. And she ended up giving it to Amy Seeks, and Amy Seeks opened it and she teamed up with Posey, Matt, and Cynthia. And they went somewhere in Santa Fe looking for like this little hidden cache. Why don't we return to that? Why don't we look into that more? Why is it every time something that does not seem relevant ends up becoming relevant? It's just that the most minute detail can be overlooked. And then that's like a huge piece to unlocking what needs to be unlocked. I'll just wait till you see the info. I mean, you could send it, Live It Vivid. I can multitask. Now everyone will know. Know what? My email? Everyone has my email. Albuquerque. That reminds me of the line from was it National Treasure? It was like, is a prison. Like, look, I can say words too. Oh, friggin', did you know they just canceled the fucking National Treasure TV series on Disney Plus? It only made it one season and they canceled it. I'm so mad. I'm like, I was so invested with these characters. I loved how they did things. Like, how dare they? They better do one hell of an amazing job for National Treasure 3 or I'm gonna be pissed. Cause it seems like Disney and the board have just been like completely against National Treasure for a really long time. And they even said they weren't even going to start filming National Treasure 3 until they hit a whole bunch of different live action Disney movies. Like we've got The Little Mermaid coming out in a couple of weeks. We have Atlantis, which that one's my all-time favorite. If you screw up Atlantis, there's no coming back for you, Disney. I'm not kidding. If you screw up Atlantis, I will be so mad at you. You better get Milo Thatch on point or I'm going to riot. Greek temple of the Virgin is pagan, so the Virgin May would be pagan too. What? If you were talking to others, I'm sorry for them. If you're talking to others too. What? Why do I feel like a whole different conversation is transpiring in my chat right now, and I don't know what's happening? Way cool. Yeah, I love National Treasure. It was so cute. So Vic, like, I think it was our second date, or maybe it was the third. It just consisted of just literally laying in bed all day, ordering a bunch of pizza, drinking mimosas, and watching a bunch of movies that like I'm obsessed with. So first we watched Shazam 2. That was a really good one. Then we watched National Treasure. Like he rented it for me and he was like totally into it. I was like, oh my God, my fucking heart right now. Like, are you kidding me? He entertains the weird shit that I'm like obsessed with. And I'm just like, oh my God, yes, yes, please. So, and then he watched Scream 5 with me. And I was just like, oh my God, I can't believe you're doing this. This is so great. Like, because I remember back when I wanted to watch a movie, like prime example, it was Uncharted. Uncharted with, Tom Holland. I've been waiting years for that movie because it's been like in the making forever. And I remember I told the ex, I was like, I'm so excited to see this. I've been wanting to see it forever, ever since it came out that they were putting it into production, which was like years ago. And he was like, no, that looks stupid. I'm not going to see it. And even when I finally convinced him after it was out of the theater and you could rent it, we were sitting there trying to watch it the whole time. He was like, so fucking stupid. And it's just like, it just made me so sad, when you try and share something with someone you're supposed to care about. It's not like, oh, it's making it all about me. It's showing you, I'm sharing you a piece of my soul, and you kind of just don't give a shit about it. So it's a nice, refreshing change. That's all I've got to say. I'm so tired of the thrill of the chase with all the court cases. So I think Ben and you will do justice to the TTOTC again. Davey B says National Treasure movies is the chase to me. True story. But you also have to include Dan Brown. Dan Brown is a huge part too. At least in my opinion. Midday Blue Apples, which for years I've been talking about this. So just saying. Candy, you suck at paying attention to your chat and understanding what is being said. I love you, so telling you this truth. I know, MS. I really do suck at paying attention. Okay, so I think I've been kind of hanging with you guys and what you're talking about. So you were talking about Rumblies 2.0. I can't give you the link for that. It's been taken down. You and Bill are talking about his solve pictures and taking them to Greece. I don't know. Hold on a second. Okay, I've got more things. More things. More things. Okay. Just everything about me. I am paying attention to everything. I've been reading everyone's comments. I've been talking to Ben. I've been like talking to everyone today and like responding and paying attention because I don't have anyone on my panel right now. Like I didn't put a link in, so I'm not having to like multitask. I feel like when I have someone else on the panel, even if I'm not on camera, I feel like they know when I'm not paying attention to them, like if I'm looking at chat. So then I'll feel really bad. And so I just strictly focus on talking to the person on the panel versus paying attention to chat. Holy ground. Holy ground? Hollowed ground, you mean? Hollowed ground? Must go do more wood whizzing, preparing a handmade queen bed. The timber is beautiful. Oh, that's nice, Davy. That's cool. Let's see. I feel like you and Trusted are like the last older men in the chase that aren't like against me right now with the witch hunt. Uh, continue with your crazy bill. That's from MS. Let's see, but have a great, I think, morning. Is it morning for you, Davy? I really do suck at paying attention. I'm doing better though. I'm doing better at multitasking. Let me go back into the land of Discord, see what's up with that. Ah, good Lord. Crump is still talking about Loran. Okay. If you want to read me a bedtime story, I'd be happy. Bedtime story for what? Who are these random white names in Discord? I don't trust them. I don't trust the white names in Discord. They sus. They sus on sus. Oh, shit. I've got other things. What is happening? What is happening? Do I have more tags? Oh, God. Stop tagging me in this. Me. Okay. I'm going back over yonder here. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, let me go back to my chat room. Help me. Ah. 9:48 in the desert. Already. Live it vivid. I don't know if I want to say this on YouTube because it sounds like I'm unintentionally joining another cult. And I mean, I'm already unintentionally joined to this one, so I can't really handle another cult right now. This sounds like code to like come find me. No, thank you. No, thank you. I don't want to. No, no, thank you. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so now I made friends with more people, and I think we're supposed to go out later this week, and get big sick drinks. Join every cult. No, no, I don't want to join every cult. MS, this ain't yes, man. Uh, I don't know. Yeah, there's just too many cults. I'm not down. I'm not down. Let's see. Do 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 do. National Treasure. I do want to see, like, I'm curious what the plot will be for National Treasure 3. I heard it's got a very Fenny type plot. Jack Stoof data is Knucker by definition. Yeah, see, that's not fair though. Like, okay, think about this. When all of this was unraveling and happening, you need to know and realize that people on YouTube, whether they're popular Fen YouTubers or they just have a YouTube in general, they're all people just like you, just like me. We're all people. We all have our own ideas, our thoughts, our beliefs, our way we interpret information. And when all this went down, none of us knew all of this was happening. We were just lost, stuck in the dark like the rest of you guys. And we're just trying to put the pieces together. And I don't think anyone should be blamed or punished or seen as a saboteur just because they're trying to piece those pieces together. Like, it's a puzzle. And with the puzzle, you have to figure out how and when and where to find those other pieces to put together. So, am I a little annoyed that this could have been avoided 3 years ago? Yeah, possibly. But, everything happens for a reason. And I think people need to just stop attacking each other, stop putting the blame on quote unquote the Nookers. Like, they're real people. They're real people like you and I. They're not actors, they're not characters. And whoever this Jack Stoof is, he's a real person too. And it's okay to like calmly speculate and say, hey, this doesn't seem accurate, or maybe this was taken out of context. But to just sit there and just talk shit on people 24/7 and get mad and blame people because they didn't share something with you, it's just juvenile. And I wish it would stop, because I want to focus more on uncovering these pieces than sitting here and being at war with someone that's never going to listen, and someone who's never going to want to listen. Okay, it's pointless. I was worried for the safety of Cooper and Cynthia climbing that short ladder they found heaps of stuff. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, Davey. When I saw that, I was just like, okay, I understand adventure. I'm all for adventure. I love adventure. But I'm like, what the hell are they doing? Did they just get drunk after crossing the Madison in April with like all that snow? And they just were like sitting around talking, and they were just like, hey, I'm drunk, you're drunk. Let's go convince the owner of Bullwinkle's to break down a secret compartment so that we could zoom in and show everyone that Fenn allegedly once slept in a fucking bathtub. Oh, it cracked me up so much. Like, I applaud them for the dedication, but what? What? It didn't even show us the spoons that were found. I want to see the spoons, man. I don't want to see the box of fur that's very questionable. I don't know. I think the best part of that video was when Christy got stuck in the snow, and so she like figured out how to crawl her way back. That was so funny. I mean, honestly, if it was me, I would have rolled my way back. I would have like turned into roly poly and just like rolled over the snow. Please, please don't give out your info to any other YouTube community. What, my email? What up, Vertigo? Hantavirus from living in a rodent trap. Ew. I don't know what that is, but it does not sound pleasant. Jack Stoof is the boogeyman. Uh, I don't like, I understand the frustration. I've been there many times. Like, Vertigo's in chat right now. I've yelled at Vertigo when I was like so under the impression that he was a part of, the auction website, and I felt terrible after. And I apologized, but still it made me feel terrible as a person to allow so much speculation to trigger how I see somebody. And it's just like, I was super excited and happy when he solved the Houses of Cinder treasure hunt. I thought it was so cool. But then it's just like, I get like I see the frustration and I see the reasoning behind certain things, right? Vertigo, you stay anonymous above all because I don't blame you. There are some batshit crazy people in this chase community. And so it makes sense why you would stay anonymous. So you can still participate, but not be, you know, just right there. So I get it. It just sometimes it's just so sus. I just want to wake up one day in the chase and not let it affect me like it does because it affects me pretty bad. And like for the past couple of weeks, I've kind of been ignoring, the chase and not going live. I've just been hanging out with friends, enjoying company, and not being such a sad hermit, just like stuck in my room like I used to be. Like ever since COVID, I've been holed up for a while. Like I know COVID happened in like what March 2020, but I think it was like what September of 2020. That's when the Fenn finale was, and I went, and I wasn't scared of COVID. And I remember I saw a bunch of people who were like really scared of COVID. And I was like, I don't understand why everyone's acting so weird. And it wasn't until I got it that I was just like, oh, I get it now. I don't want to go anywhere. I don't want to be around anything. I'm afraid I'm going to get sick again and possibly die. This sucks. And then obviously, like, there wasn't really any jobs you could have during COVID until they transitioned to like remote work. And even when I was working from home, I was stuck at home all the time. So I'm finally out of that like hermit type of mentality. And I like going places, and I like going and hanging out with friends. And I'm making a bunch of plans already to go to the Renaissance Fair pretty soon. We've got plans to do more pool and karaoke. Um, Planning a big event with Ashley. Apparently, hopefully it's gonna be in Arizona. Like there's a lot of cool things to be excited and happy about. So I'm not stuck in the chase as much as I used to be. Good night, Davy. Anyone candy, not just you. What? Jack Stoof? Okay. Hi, MS. I am doing this for your community. I'm going to get some info that will put the thrill back in TTOTC. Vertigo, I've had had some questions from my smart friend lately. What? What? Okay, I'm paying attention to chat right now, and I don't know what's happening still. Can't remember them today. Like, what? Flight, or fight? Frank Brinkman collection? Yeah, I had that. I remember one year I did have the Joseph Henry Sharp solve. The original location where the cabin was located before Fenn purchased it and moved it to the Cody Museum. They even had the bent trees as the blaze. Like, I remember that way back in the day. You won't know your Saturday is great until Sunday. That's funny. Wait, who's Pickle Dilemma? I know that one, but who's Dilemma? Pickle Dilemma. I don't know who anyone is anymore. We all changed our name in Discord to Pickle something because Ben like is triggered by pickles. So being the great fucking family community that we are, we have to literally remind him every 5 seconds that pickles exist in the world. Mine is licensed to Dill because, that's me. Holy, why did you change yours back? You're supposed to be a pickle name. Let's see. Did everyone name? Okay, see, that's still pickle. Real pickleberry, Grandma's pickle pie. Did everyone else change their name back from pickles? Well, that's a pickle. Whatever. Pickles on pickles. Who's your smart friend? Anyone I know? Oh yeah, Vertigo. Since you're in chat, do you mind expanding on the fact that you are acquaintances with Rudy? I mean, according to Rudy, you and he are the ones who teamed up to find the stick at the location. Forest Frenzy is my smart friend. Wait, Forest Frenzy is vertigo. Okay, now my head hurts for sure. I don't know. No. What's happening? No. I remember when I was talking to Forest Frenzy, or no, I think I was talking to Vertigo about Forest Frenzy, and I was talking to him about him. Oh, the irony. Oh, the irony. Do. Oh, I see Trusted has a video. Okay, that's a random church. Do. Oh, there's Tyler. Huh. Weird. Ah, The Wizard of Oz. I have that book. Yeah, a lot of this stuff goes back to paintings a lot. Hey. Tis fascinating. Okay, so now that I have like real outside friends again, I'm kind of neglecting my online friends. Oopsies. Okay, let me go back to my chat room. And the pickle napple. Oh shit. Rudy Greenhorn. You can only find a stick if you walk on your own 2 feet. Rudy's awesome. I'm very glad we connected. Poor Rudy. Under the microscope. Do. Oh. So Vertigo, if Ashley and I host a Fenbury in Arizona this year, will you and Rudy be in attendance? Don't worry, you don't have to go in as Vertigo. You could just be some random passerby that saw the fire and wanted to come say hi. And then you could just like change your voice or something. And then we'll never know it's you. Well, I will say this. I'm glad we've gone past the let's stare at a log for 5 hours and analyze it with another log phase. That's a phase I will never miss. So at least we stopped doing that. I wonder what Rudy would be like in the wilderness. It's so funny. Rudy. I mean, Rudy, he should be okay as long as he doesn't drink a couple pitchers of mimosas. He should be okay. That kid, like, I still outdrank him, but he was so drunk. I felt so bad after, like, when I finally realized what was happening. I was just like, oh no, I broke Rudy. And then the picture, it's like my favorite picture. It shows Rudy like face planted on the floor in a pillow, and I'm like on the couch just chilling in my little gothic outfit, just like on the phone, fully functional. What's this one now? What? What am I going to? What am I going to? Uh, Charcoal pills for the win. Yes, Ashley, charcoal pills for the win. I was totally going to bring that up too. Just got another video from my ex, Joy. I will go to next year's Vegas poker if Vert Frenzy goes. You both got hammered. I mean, I was pretty hammered too. Yeah, I will admit that, Ben. I was hammered, but I was able to hold my composure. I definitely was able to hold my composure. End of it though, I was just like, I don't want to do things. And I think that was no, that was the day before, right? The day before when Ashley got to meet Heidi Klum because of Jens. I remember she was like, we need to get clothing, we need model ready. And I was just like, I don't want to be here. Like the entire time, I'm like, I do not want to be here at all. Um, Stay sober and observe for the win. No, John. No, Wednesdays are for drinking. It's Wild Wednesdays nowadays because I know I'm not going to be able to do it as long as I can. It's been nice being able to do this for a little bit because, I used to work so much nonstop and I would go nowhere. I would always just stay inside. I would just be so alone. And like that was even before the breakup. After the breakup, it was just I started to finally get a little bit better and then I would just get set back and triggered. And lately it just seems like God, everything under the sun has been happening to me in the worst way possible, but I'm still here. I am still here and I'm still hanging on and I'm not a hermit anymore. So there's that. You were feeling good. Yes, Ashley, I was feeling good. I was walking behind you, Candy. You were feeling good. Is that for is that for Heidi Klum or is that the mimosas? Because the mimosas were the last day. Remember, I was like, let's go to brunch and get like mimosa wasted because it was our last day in Vegas. And the best part is like, okay, yeah, later that day I sobered up. We went back down to the casinos and I remember I was just sitting there. Everyone else wanted to like get fucked up and I couldn't because I had a super early flight. I was super mad. I was like, I don't want to go back yet. This is stupid. So the next time we do WSOF in Vegas, I'm gonna make sure I don't fucking book my flight for like 4 a.m. like a dumbass. Um, when I grow up, I want to be a farmer, so when society collapses, I can still eat. Freaking Trusted, you crack me up. And Trusted, please know I still adore you. And just because there's bullshit happening with myself and Troy, it's mainly Troy. Troy's doing the witch hunt, but there's issues. Just know I still adore you. Let's see. We both got hammered. Well, you know what I see the issue with, Ben? Is that you did not get hammered. Why didn't you get hammered? Why was it only Rudy and myself that got hammered? Trusted, can we all come to you? Come to your farm, please. Yeah, that's what I said last time, remember? I was like, Trusted, I know where to go when the world ends. When I grow up, I hope to die the same day. Ooh, no thanks. No thanks. Stay sober and observe. No, it's not fun. Ugh. Heavens to Betsy. Just heavens to Betsy. Yeah, it's the same thing I posted. Anyways, the audacity. The audacity. I guess I know that person. I didn't get drunk and Rudy did. Why, whatever was I up to? I don't know. What were you up to, Ben? Shit, I'm trying to remember. I remember we were at the bar because everyone took too long to come meet up with us to do the brunch thingy when we were going to sit down. So we just decided to stay at the bar. And I remember going, not live, I did a video with Rudy talking to Shiloh about something, which cracked Shiloh up. That was a funny one. And then I remember you told me to tell Shiloh to like do a bet or something because you're playing like solitaire on the bar games. Ashley, what was Ashley doing? I forgot what Ashley was drinking. I just remember I was the one going ham on the pitchers of mimosas and then Rudy joined in. Copper Dan was trying to break into my phone. I remember that. He was totally trying to break into my phone and he failed epically. Let's see. Everyone in the cult will be there. Hey, Tyler. Here, I'm giving you a wrench. You are now a moderator. There you go, buddy. There you go. Let's see. So try typing in chat now, Tyler. You should be able to create a wrench by your name. I don't know what you're doing, Ben. Do you mind reminding me what you were doing? What was I up to? I don't know, Ben. Maybe I was a little drunker than I thought. I was happy. I was on a good one. You guys just took it away from me though. It just made me sober up. How am I doing? I'm okay. I'm having fun talking Fenn theory. It's just like a kind of like just a hobby now. It's not like an obsession anymore. I'll just like occasionally think about connections and different details, but I'm not as obsessed as I used to be. Um, trying to just stay chill. Hope all is good with you. Do 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 do. How about a team member of a legendary treasure hunting crew? Huh. I don't know. What does that mean? I just ask lots of questions when searchers are drunk. Oh, you ask lots of questions when searchers are drunk? Did you ask me a lot of questions when I was drunk, Ben? Did I even answer them? Do I remember answering them? Did I give away my identity? Oh no. Candy Hershey versus Candace Irvine. However, will I survive? Let's see. I feel yes, sis. I've been busy as hell with my new job that I haven't even thought about the Fenn chase. That's good, Tyler. That's good. I mean, I get it. I totally get it. I've been doing pretty good too. Like for the most part, I've been avoiding, Discord and YouTube and stuff. Just not anything against Discord or anything. It's just I've been trying to avoid like any Fenn related chase community stuff because it makes me sad all the time. Like I'll go and hang out with like, Vic, Nick, Bernice, Amber, like all kinds of people and Molly, and I'll have a great time and I'll be happy and I'll be like, hey, I got this. I've got this life figured out. I'm gonna be okay. And then I'll go into Discord and I'll do like little creep side eyes or just like say hi. And I'm already targeted by like all these trolls. And then I can't even go on YouTube without like seeing a bunch of bullshit said about me. And it makes me super sad and depressed. So it's like I'm happy when I'm not in the chase community because there's no one in my real world to fuck with me. Well, I mean, there are people in my real world that can fuck with me, but I'm trying to avoid them too. But I mean, the reason why I said this is my happy place is because it was the place I was going to find happiness. Like I was just so sad and just torn by all the mean shit and the horrible people that hide behind these names that I needed to get out of it. So I've been out of it. He'll slowly poison us pickle eaters. He will ruin pickles for me and he knows it. I mean, if I was a pickle in life, I would be a spicy pickle. You know, those sweet, spicy pickles, like Dave's pickles? I would be a Dave's pickle. I'm literally loving my job. All of my coworkers are like awesome and they all love my suede leather jacket. And I've met 2 females that are Papa Roach fans. That's awesome, Tyler. Papa Roach is great. He will do the laundry, trusted. He would hate that more and less room for diabolical behavior. I sent you the email. I think you're really going to like the info. I didn't go into full detail, but you will be researching all night. Okay, let me hop over real fast. What's happening? Eh. One, one. Oh, that's two. That's two. Um, oh, I don't know what I'm looking at. What? What? Interesting. I am not a code person whatsoever, but I'll look into it a little bit. Fascinating. What in the hellfire? Why is everybody and their mother suffering from I'm the true solveritis? Like, is there anyone in this community that is humble enough to be like, hey, I didn't solve it, move on with life? I'm just curious. Like, what is this? What is this? Sweet Dave? What? I bet Fiji back in the day was an adventure. Hi, Lucky. Lucky, I kind of saw you shit talking me the other day, but you're welcome to chill and chat. Ben is gonna work in the pickling kitchen. Oh, Ben has to pickle cucumbers? Oh no. That's a fate worse than death. I'm not the solver, I never was. Good job, Tyler. There you go. That's funny though. Uh I cannot lie, I love my solve. I mean, trusted, you're not really one of those people that like shoves it down everyone's throat and yells at everyone and is like, I'm the solver, acknowledge my existence. You're more of a I'm a solver. I don't give a fuck if you acknowledge it. But hey, by the way, look at this. This goes to this. And I think that's cool. There's a different way. You're more humble about it. Hillary's husband. What? You'll figure it out. And when you look up the info, it will make sense. I mean, I've got a lot of other stuff I gotta be doing. Like, I made some major leeway in the Christian treasure hunt, and then I got distracted with, beer pong and pool and making. Oh, by the way, you guys, I ended up making that chorizo queso mac and cheese, and trust me, it was fire. Like it was so good. It took me 2 hours to make the sauce. It was like a dip basically, but I turned it into a sauce for mac and cheese. And I made so much mac and cheese, it was enough to feed an entire army. Like I'm not even kidding. So ended up taking it over there. I think it was like on Wednesday or something. Like, I'm not kidding. I was over at Vic's house from Wednesday up until yesterday. Like, it was just a nice getaway, right? So I was just hanging out with everyone because Nick lives there too. So I was hanging out with Nick, I was hanging out with Bernice, I was hanging out with Amber, Danny, who's like the neighbor and stuff. He's really cool. He was really nice. He hung out with me in the spa for a little bit because like I was the only one who wanted to be in the spa and everyone else was like, meow. So Danny's like, you know what, Candy? Because he saw I was really sad. And he's like, let's go in the spa. Let's hang out. He brought me was it I think it was Jim Beam and Coke because he was like really, really concerned that I was really sad. And so I jumped in the spa. We were hanging out, and then Vic joined, and then Molly joined, and we were all hanging in the spa drinking, and it was just like so much fun. And Molly was like taking pictures with her little camera that's like instant camera. And we were playing like water Uno. I fucking hate Uno. I used to be good at it. Now I'm not. But we were just having a lot of fun. And it was just nice to like have someone that noticed I was sad and like cheered me up. So that was cool. So that was fun. Wednesday up until Sunday. Oh man, crazy. Or wait, no, Saturday. Saturday. Because I went home yesterday. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yep. Yep. 4 days. 4 days just, being somewhere else. As long as Candy says Cody before tonight ends, it's a win-win night for me. Okay, Tyler, Cody. I was a tyrant in a prior life. This is my punishment. Trusted. I think you and I both. After all, it is Forrest Fenn solved, not the solvers. Let's see. Meow, bitch. What? Oh, that's funny. I don't even know what's happening at this point. It's funny though. But yeah, I missed out on another spa day today. I'm kind of sad. I could have done another spa day. Meh. It's okay though. I needed like to do extra sleep just because I'm gonna like organize and clean my room tomorrow. I kind of like ripped it apart looking for something. So I'm gonna organize my room, which is kind of a big project in and of itself sometimes because I have so much clothes. I'm gonna tan because my ass is pasty white. I need a tan. And then I have a job interview, I think for Tuesday. Yeah, it was Tuesday. And then I gotta secure some more job interviews tomorrow on Monday. Um, so I have some job interviews lined up. I have some organization to do. I got ingredients again to make my grandpa's spaghetti because I told Vic my grandpa's spaghetti is like amazing. So I'm gonna make it and be like, boom, this is amazing. It was kind of funny though, because like when I told him I'm gonna make, chorizo queso mac and cheese, he was like, yeah, go for it, right? And so I come over and I like spent 2 hours making all this. I bring him all the food plus cinnamon rolls, by the way. And he's like, I don't like chorizo. And I'm like, motherfucker, if you don't like chorizo, why would you say yes? Like, but everyone did love it though. Like Danny loved it. Nick loved it. Like they all had like bowls and bowls of it. It was so good. Amber really liked it. Bernice. So my cooking was pretty damn spot on. I will say though, Vic really, really knows how to cook. Like he made this pasta, I think it was last week. He made this like very simple, very basic pasta that was just like so damn good. I wanted to eat the whole bowl and I didn't, but I wish I did. I need to buy a shirt that says I'm a ray of fucking sunshine. No, Tyler. Tyler, you better not be ray of sunshine in Discord. I'll be so pissed. I will be so pissed. Like, don't you dare. There are like so many counts in Discord and in YouTube where I don't know who they are. It's just like triggering in and of itself. Good job, MS. Oh god, my eyeball's burning. Ah, eyeball. My eyeball. Ah. My poor eyeball. I am not the solver, just a slave. Oh, okay. Slave to society? What? Oh, wait. What's this? What's this? There's color everywhere. What's this? What's this? There's wet things in the air. What's this? I can't believe my eyes. I must be dreaming. Wake me up, Jack. This isn't fair. What's this? Yeah, I'm that bored. I literally just sang The Nightmare Before Christmas via Moisturize. No, it's not me, but I do need to get that shirt. Oh, I won't lucky. Read me what the poem says. She probably called me stupid. Oh well. I mean, do I even have to comment on that, Davy? Do I even have to comment on that? What current treasure hunt are searchers most thirsty for? I'm not telling you, Vertigo, unless you team up with me, because like you take all the hunts. Let me have this Christian hunt, okay? I mean, if you want to team up with me, I'm fine with that, but we got to split it 3 ways instead of two, because I'm teamed up with Shannon Bloom. But I have like a major breakthrough in that hunt, and if I could just take a day to focus on it instead of all the other stuff I've been doing, I could crack it. I already figured out the chapter that's going to break the whole thing loose. I just need to read the actual book itself. I haven't had a chance to do that yet. Um, yeah, I really like it though. I do. And I know people are saying like, oh, they think he's a con artist, like pastors shouldn't do treasure hunts. And that's just messed up. Like, why are people saying someone who is associated with the church can't do a treasure hunt? That's not nice. Like, why? Why are people not allowed to do things in the world? You're sounding like worse than the church right now. If I didn't know I was stupid, I wouldn't be smart. Alrighty. Christian hunt? Yes, Tyler, there is a Christian-based treasure hunt. There is a man named Perry Stone who was a Forrest Fenn searcher. He went searching for the hunt himself. I'm pretty sure he used his interpretation of the poem to create his own hunt, and it's based off of the location that he used the chase to narrow it down to. So I got a major breakthrough on that. What's the Christian hunt you speak of? I thought it was the Holy Grail you speak of. I haven't talked Grail for a while, and to set the record straight, I'm not talking about the cup. I'm talking about the Celestial Grail, which is bigger than all of that combined. But hey, Bert, when I team up on the new Nevada hunt, I'm in Nevada. I mean, I'm sad. Vertigo won't ever work with me. He just decides to, destroy my hunts and solve them. I heard about that one. I haven't seen any chatter about it though. I actually like that there's no chatter about a Vertigo. It's more fun when not everyone and their mother is working on the same thing as you, because you could actually talk about it and people won't even know what you're talking about. Like the one thing that I like to do with treasure hunts, especially if I'm trying to solve one, is to walk my way through it, like talking about it. Like the reason why I get so many breakthroughs when I go on tangents, especially live tangents, is because I have someone to just like talk my ideas out. And as I'm explaining my ideas to someone else, I'm also laying them out and explaining them to myself to further be able to go down the rabbit hole to see what else I was missing. Or else I could just sit in my room, already a crazy hermit, just mumbling to myself all day. And my roommates probably be like, whoa, who is she? So none of that. Houses will crumble. Hey, you gotta admit, that was a good treasure hunt. It took you 6 months to solve. All right. I don't know how long it took you to solve or not solve, but I don't know how long it took you to like piece together 9 Mile Hole. But it took you 6 months to break houses asunder. So haha. Watch me or Vertigo solve it now. No, you didn't Vert. It's probably Xavier into the sea. Um, I think the next big treasure hunt that people are going to be talking about, Vertigo, is going to be the Hocking Hills, Ohio treasure hunt. But the second one won't launch until the end of May 30th. They just updated that today. I only ask him because I have worked through stuff with Vertigo. Oh, nice. That's fun. Well, it makes me sad because I originally wanted to work on the Christian hunt with Street, because I know he and I love to talk about the mythology in just the Bible and how to pick it apart. We always talked about the book of Revelations, but now that's not an option because Troy is poisoning everyone one live stream at a time. I haven't even heard about that one. Seems like there are lots going on right now. Oh yeah, you're talking about the 6K one, right? Yeah, the one that I thought I solved every second. It was still live way before Vertigo solved it. Should I talking about Tyler? Are you talking about houses? Because you were straight up like Fisher King, and I was like, Tyler, wrong treasure hunt. Like, I will say one of my favorite things about being a treasure hunt creator is being able to see how people are uh translating everything that I do. So like the different little rabbit holes. Okay. Well, I mean, another one that people are slowly gaining more attention towards is the impossible poem. I mean, Ben's my friend, Ashley's my friend, so I got to represent them. Um I heard a few people have some really good solves, and I'm betting Vertigo, you probably have a really good one from the impossible poem. Um I don't know if are you teamed up with Rudy on that one? I think Rudy mentioned something about that. Like you and he are working on the impossible poem, which I've noticed you tend to gravitate towards hunts that have items in relation to Fenn, like the Eric Sloan painting, and then the fishing flies. Like I don't know, it's interesting. I just heard about it. Very haven't really looked into it. I dug so deep into that Holy Grail shit trying to crack it. I even down the GOTs? Game of Thrones rabbit hole for houses? Oh yeah. I did get a lot of War of the Roses and Game of Thrones in the beginning. That's why we put that hint out. I went down the rabbit hole. Yeah. That's fun though. That's what makes the treasure hunt fun are the rabbit holes. If your treasure hunt doesn't have rabbit holes, you need to add rabbit holes. That one is over, but keep looking. Which one? How deep is a bullet hole? Nothing's impossible, only impassable. Oh, I think Vertigo is being tight-lipped. He doesn't want to share his progress on the impossible poem. He's like, I will beat you all. There's like what was that other one I was looking into? There's another treasure hunt. I know the Hawking Hills one's gonna be really cool, but I think you have to be boots on the ground again there. So, oh yay, my package is on the way from Amazon. Hooray! All I have to say is I'm so ready and excited for summer. Like it just feels like good vibes. And I like the fact that I just get to go to the river now whenever I want because I can convince the people I hang out with to go to the river. Fun stuff has appeal for sure, but I also worked on smaller hunts like Tyler's Serpent Odyssey and David Piasano's Fenn tribute hunt. And you also worked on my little Easter one, and you cracked within like a second. But then you're like, don't worry, I don't want to claim it. I'll let someone else have fun with it. And I'm just like, how did you figure out the name of the monk? Like bidet, like really bidet, and then the fact that that whole entire book was about the reason why Easter falls on the days that it does. Like I don't know what exactly I put in that riddle, but there's something in there that just instantly took you to that book, and you were like, "Oh yeah, it's bidet." I'm like, "The fuck!" Like Vertigo's brain scares me. Ow. Do 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 do. Let's see. So, what's the next hunt or current hunt you're working on right now, Vertigo? It's the Serpent Odyssey. How deep is the deep? Yes, we're one more salt. I mean, I have so many interpretations for Fenn's poem not pertaining to Yellowstone. One of them being the blue stones. That's right. The spring riddle was good too. Thank you, Vertigo. Thank you very much. I have another one that I've been working on and off for like a year now. I mean, I haven't put that much time into it, but I've been like working on and off with it, right? And I do want to launch it. It's just I don't know if I'm ready to open that can of worms again. Like that's the only thing. I don't want to deal with people just ruining the hunts that I create. So I am debating on releasing that one. I promised I would release that one as a free hunt. And the prize is that $1,000 pendant that someone in the chase community funded for me. They paid for the pendant that I picked out. It did cost them $1,000. The pendant is beautiful. Still have it. Still have it. Literally, I think I looked at the other day. I just don't know if people are in the mood for that right now. Like, it's something I really want to do, but I don't want to spend all my time doing something for people that are not going to appreciate it, you know? And also, again, I have my own life now. I go out. I'm going on a date on Wednesday for sushi. So this is the cutest thing ever. So I think it was Saturday. It was either Friday or Saturday. Uh I was asking Vic, I was like, instead of twisted teas, can we try something else? Because we were doing like beer pong and stuff. And he's like, okay, what do you want to drink? And I was trying to do like one of the concoctions I saw online. And he's like, oh, I like Bacardi. I'm like, fuck, what do you want? Bacardi. And he's like, let's do Bacardi with pineapple juice. And I'm like, oh, and grenadine, because that's, I think it's like at something sunset. So he got all that. And then he got like a few other things. And I was like, oh, I'll pay you back next week for buying the alcohol because I don't want you to like pay for everything. And so the other day, I finally got my EDD, unemployment for a little bit. And I was like, okay, let me pay you back. And he's like, no, don't worry about it. So I was like, what's your PayPal? And he's like, don't worry about it. He's like, pay me back in dates. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, just pay me back in dates. And so I'm like sushi? He's like, yes. I'm like, Wednesday sushi? He's like, okay. I'm like, oh, okay, sushi date. So I thought that was a really cute and creative way of him being like, I want to hang out with you more without making me feel bad. So that was pretty cool. The springs he was sitting on were between the car and the creek rested. The little engine that could. I'll never forget Tommy Repeat because of the Serpent Odyssey. What the fuck is a Tommy Repeat? So do not promote anything you are not going to do. No, I am going to do it, MS. I just don't know if I should do it right now, like with everything that's happening and going on. Like, I'm not promoting anything, by the way. Like, that's the thing. When I promote something, when I promote it. Like, I'll reach out to Jenny Kyle. Ah, great. Now I'm getting You're Dead to Me. Fuck you. That was beautiful. See? See? Shit like this. I'm trying to like stay above all of this, but I've got my ex fucking with me. I've got a sister fucking with me. I've got assholes in the chase fucking with me. There's just so much coming at me from every angle. I kind of just don't care. So I will eventually launch one just to do what I said. Cause I am working really hard on this really cool concept and idea. I just don't know if I want to release it just as a poem or if I want to release it as a PDF book with like a bunch of art and cryptic things. So if it's a PDF book, it would take me more time, right? And I already have all that stuff that I'm planning on for the summer, for the February, everything like that. You know what? I don't understand is when an ex tells you to move on and not look back, and you give them chance after chance after chance to just try and make it work one last time, which I should not do. I should not fucking do that. It's the stupidest thing I've ever done. Yet I still try to do that and they're like, move on. Don't look back. And so I do. Like do people not understand when you break up, you have no other choice but to move on? And then it goes from I don't care about you to you're dead to me, fuck you. Like, bro, that is so toxic. I can't. So fucking triggering. Like, ugh. stupid. Don't let the idiots get to you. Yeah, I'm trying, MS. I'm trying. It's really fucking hard. Fun dating. Like, what are we supposed to do? Are we supposed to get dumped, have our whole fucking world changed, and then just stay miserable for the rest of our fucking lives? All because that makes them feel better? Like, I don't fucking get it. Like, when you break up with someone, you are choosing to separate yourself from them for eternity. You are choosing to no longer have them in your life whatsoever. And then you're gonna fucking have the audacity to be pissed at me for fucking trying to move on. Ugh, I cannot stand narcissists. Like, I'm so fucking tired of it. Oh, move along, nothing to see here. Yeah, I need to go plan a girls' night with karaoke and my girls. Oh, it's another thing that makes me sad. Heather is leaving in like literally 2 weeks, I think. She's moving to Arizona, and I'm just like, I haven't seen her since she had her baby, and I'm just like, I need to see her. I've got her baby shower gift I still have to hand to her. Her birthday was like last week. I need to get her a birthday gift. And I'm just like, damn, another really amazing friend moving to Arizona. Maybe I should move to Arizona for real. People can be a pain in the neck, can't live with them, and can't bury them in the yard. That's a funny one, Trusted. I like that one. When they're throwing pots, pans, and a table at you, run and don't look back. Pots, pans, and a table? That sounds like something from the Tangled, from Disney's Tangled. Like, what's going on? That's funny. Now you have a reason to bombard Ben. What's in Arizona? Possibly my sanity. INFJ. What's up, INFJ? Why can I not remember words? Oh, is that double M? Huh. Oh my God. Oh, now I get it. Oh, alrighty. I'm not the only one that's salty and snarky in the land of yeah. Do 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 do. Oh, what's Amber doing? Brewery. That looks fun. I need to go get a big stick drink later this week. And sushi. Sushi and a big stick drink. Okay. Go listen to some CeeLo Green. No. It was nice to see some familiar names in here. Cheers, searchers. Enjoy a Verner's. Oh, yeah. I forgot your obsession with Verner's. Hot enough to cook your brain in Arizona. Oh, no. I have a stepsister in Phoenix. Interesting. Go listen. Night Vert. Later, brother Vert. Because I'm crazy. No. I hate that song. Stop it. I'm sorry. Does this make me a horrible person for correcting someone's bad grammar? Like, if you're gonna say you're dead to me, fuck you. You need to say YOU apostrophe RE, not YOUR, because you were saying you are dead to me. You are dead to me, not your. Like, come on, if you're gonna insult me, use some grammar. God. Yeah, I know that song too, Tyler. Actually, I've been listening to some dope ass songs lately. But it's so funny. So like whenever I'm over at Vic's house and we're blasting, like YouTube will be blasting music, right? They'll like have Eminem on, or they'll have like Jeezy, and I like Jeezy and stuff like that. But whenever it's my turn to take over the remote, I go instantly to Sleep Token or Bad Omens or Motionless in White. And the other day, everyone was trying to like kind of explain in detail what it's like when I put on my music, and they're like, Candy listening to her music is like the world burning and her sitting at the edge of the world enjoying it with maniacal laughter. I'm just like, oh fuck, is that what I really look like? I mean, they're not wrong. They're not wrong at all. I'll sit there and I'll just be like this demented little creature just laughing in the shadows at the music. But that's my type of thing. I like that music. I can't explain it to you. Maybe I'm just like that fucked up, but that is my poison for sure. Bitch got me fucked up. Yeah, I was listening to that one all weekend. And oh my god, fucking okay, Tableau High. I think it's called High. To keep you off my mind. Like, I've never really truly understood the meaning of those lyrics until Saturday. Like, I realized I kind of do try to stay a little stoned and a little drunk just to not think about my previous life. So it's not until you actually have to experience it that you can understand it. At least for me. Evolving people like that in your life shows weakness. In my opinion, move forward, Indian block, end of it, story. It's not that simple. Not that simple. Oh, good Lord. People just complain about everything, don't they? Yes, they do. Is that a Tinkerbell costume? Oh, yeah, you guys. So I decided for Halloween, I'm going to be Tinkerbell this year. Like, I wanted to try and be an actual angel last year, but Halloween was the day I think I moved in to my new condo. So I didn't have, like, my costume broke. I didn't have plans, didn't have anything set up. So I was just over it. I didn't celebrate Halloween at all last year. So this year, I'm going as this new updated version of Tinkerbell that I'm like absolutely obsessed with. Like, I even save the meme so I could have it for reference. But yeah, I'm gonna be Tinkerbell this year. This is the one I'm gonna do. This is like totally me, and I'm obsessed with it. I love it so much. Let me see. Do 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 do. It's a Tinkerbell. Look at it. Look at it. She's a sassy little Tinkerbell. She looked angry. I love her. See, I'm just a little princess with anger issues. I'm not kidding. I am a brat. See, she's got a green choker, and she's got that. I think that's like a corset, but it's like open. And then I think she has bottoms. I'd hope she has bottoms. And then like her wings. She looks just like me when I'm throwing a little bitch fit. Okay, that's my cup of tea right there. I'll be Tinkerbell. Well, what? No, I don't. Oh, you're talking about the new Tinkerbell. Moisturize. No, I'm talking about that version of Tinkerbell. There was something so pleasant about that place. Okay, I don't know what lyrics are happening right now. All right, CeeLo Green, I'm good. Jimmy Casterbunch, Troglodyte. What the fuck? What is going on over yonder? I don't even know what's happening at this point. It's like 11 o'clock at night. Anyways, I'm pretty sure Ben and Ashley are asleep, and I should probably start winding down so I'm not like up all night. Maybe I'll listen to the Codex, or maybe I'll listen to one of my books that I haven't opened yet. Like, there's this one book I was listening to. I think it was called Belladonna, but it made me freaking have the weirdest dream of my life. So I'm afraid to like listen to it again. I don't know. Anyways, I think I am going to retire for the night. I'm going to open a book. Oh, there's Ben. We're here. Ben, what time is it over there? Wait, no, you're at the same time as me. Never mind. It's 11 o'clock over there. I keep forgetting, like, Arizona is so confusing. I swear we are living in a simulation at the end of this. Which how it, like if you think about it, The Sims, right? The Sims are basically what they're trying to insinuate. We really are. We're like the Sims in a simulation. And so that means someone on the inside knows that we're the Sims, and they created the Sims to tip us off and be like, yo, you're the Sims. I listened to the Codex today, not sure why it's called the Codex. Because the entire plot, Lucky, is based off of the missing pages of the Codex. And that's the reason why Sally Colorado convinces the other son to go looking for his father so that they could obtain the missing pages of the Codex. It's literally called the Codex because it's about the Codex. Ben, I got a question. Okay, Ben, Tyler has a question. Ow. Ugh. So it's mostly about the Codex. I sent a text secret to the Blaze. Then a foundation is formed around the codex. Lucky, if you could answer these questions, I don't know why you're having me try to answer them. You clearly know the answer already, so therefore, why are you asking the question? The son made the right choice and got Sally, Colorado as a bonus. Plot twist. I did not know. You know what's funny? I don't know why I'm having such a hard time reading Douglas Preston's writings when I love Dan Brown's writings. I feel like Douglas and Dan Brown are kind of similar in a way, yet I'm not giving Douglas Preston a chance like I did Dan Brown. Maybe it's just because he does like old school shit with like the Da Vinci Code. I don't know. What was the question? I mean, it's 11 o'clock at night, Tyler. I think Ben and Ashley are in bed. Do 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 do. Alrighty. So now that my ex has screamed at me and I got some of my rantings out of my head for a little bit, I think I'm now going to retire because everyone seems to be sleepy and tired today with good reason. So I'm going to either go finish the last episodes of Firefly Lane because it's going to make me cry and sad and sentimental, or I'm going to read a book. But either way, I think I'm now going to end the stream because Ben is not here and he cannot answer Tyler's question. And I have ranted enough. Oh, the White City. Yeah, I know. Exactly. But it's whatever. Tis whatever. Okay. Ben's not in here, so I'm going to go to sleep now. Have a great night, you guys, and thanks for hanging out. Fare thee well. Das Vidania.